Hey, it's Russ Payton with Roleplaying Public Radio. We're playing The Black Company, a playtest of an upcoming RPG based on the novel series. But I'm not running this game. Shane Ivey of Arc Publishing is running this game. So take it away, Shane.
Okay, thank you, Ross. So yeah, this is a game in progress. We've been playtesting it privately, just me and Dennis, Detwell, my partner, and our groups for the last year or so, and it's gone through tons of iterations. And this version we're both pretty happy with, so we're taking the extra step of playing it with more than the 9 people that have been playing it for all this time. So welcome aboard. So the Black Company is a mercenary outfit, an infantry mercenary outfit in a fantasy world. It's kind of fantasy in the low fantasy, swords and sorcery, grim dark kind of tradition. There's no elves, no orcs, and when somebody tries to stab you with a spear, you really, really don't want to get too confident about it doing only a d6 damage. The company is kind of famous or infamous, depending on who you ask, for being very professional and for only recruiting veterans and people with extremely useful skills to back them up. And in these days, the company is in the service of the Syndic of Beryl. Beryl it's ERYL, is the oldest of the jewel cities, these big city-states that are scattered around the coasts of the massive Sea of Torments. Beryl was the first of the jewel cities, the capital of an empire that centuries ago spread across the Sea of Torments and incorporated all of the jewel cities as well as colonies, but that's all fallen apart for a long, long time now. So every jewel city is its own independent city-state, and they have commerce, but they don't have that kind of common rulership anymore. Instead, in Beryl, instead of an emperor, there's an elected syndic who is the head of a syndicate of wealthy, influential politicians and merchants and whatnot that run the city. The company works for the syndic personally as a bodyguard, and therefore doesn't officially have responsibility for keeping the peace in the city at large. That falls to the much larger actual army of the city of Beryl, which is they're called the urban cohorts. But the urban cohorts are kind of notoriously unreliable and often corrupt. And so the Black Company winds up having to step in and do things outside of its remit in order to keep the syndic happy or just protect its own people that are out there. I think that's sort of the big picture. Beryl itself is a large city. It's several miles across, and all of that enclosed within between a long wall on one side and cliffs and coast on the other sides. It's big, it's old, and as in a lot of places, wealth and power are very unevenly distributed, and it is extremely prone to trouble. So that's sort of the overview of our setting. And when we kick things off, your characters, your soldiers, are part of the third squad of first platoon in the Black Company. In the company's traditions, each platoon is usually 100 or more soldiers, equivalent to a company proper in a lot of other traditions. So your squad of usually half a dozen or so, more or less, troops is a third squad of first platoon, which is the platoon that's generally attached to the headquarters of the company and therefore gets a lot of special assignments. Whenever the captain, the head of the company, needs something unusual handled, most often he turns to first platoon, its leaders, and says, find me some people to handle this. So as
the player character platoon.
yeah, exactly. So as we kick things off here, your soldiers are in barracks. It's early morning before sunrise. You've all had to rise, and everyone's kind of getting ready for the day. The barracks is this big, wide kind of room that would be drafty, except that it has, bunk beds for 100 or more smelly, mostly dudes in it, and is one of several that the company occupies around the bastion, which is the massive tower that's at the heart of the city. So as you're rising, you're stirring, people are kind of alternately bitching and complaining at each other, or gambling off in a corner, or drinking to relieve hangovers, or scarfing down whatever was left over from the previous night's supper. So let's kind of get a description for your characters. Just as a point of reference, the head of your section, which is sort of your part of the platoon, is a corporal named Two Hand. I'm named that because one of his hands, most of the fingers are gone. Two Hand is kind of he's not really all that big or distinctive, except that he's just sort of gnarly and can look really grim when he needs to. If he's out on a patrol or something, Two Hand, like most of the soldiers, is likely to be wearing chainmail and a helmet with a face guard over it, carrying a shield and a sword at his side. Let's hear about the soldiers that are the focus of our attentions here in third squad. Let's hear about Crabs first. What are we looking at?
Hey, it's Russ Payton with Roleplaying Public Radio, and I'm playing Crabs. Crabs used to be a fisherman and had an intuitive gift for magic, so he learned how to control water, as a kind of little water bending to pull up the crabs from the briny depths. And Crabs is still incredibly weather beaten, just leathery skin, very incredibly dark and tanned. His hands are a mess of 100 scars from fishing hooks and other mishaps. And he is just a wiry little dude who is, I changed my flaw from weakened to itchy. So he's always scrabbling around looking for a good time, and no matter if it gets him into trouble or not. So yeah, just he carries a crossbow along with his sword, and he is just unassuming, wiry, kind of small, and definitely didn't get enough food as a kid, and just pretty lackadaisical in outlook. Whatever happens.
So quick question about Crabs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does everyone know that he's got some magic in him?
he's probably not that careful to keep it hidden. He's definitely, he thinks it's more of just an elaborate party trick because he's only learned one spell, which is to control liquids. So it's not like the kind of magic that wins you a battle, right? So and he's very proud of it too, even though he's never bothered to learn a second spell. So
has he told people where he learned sorcery? It takes a lot of work to even be able to do one spell reliably.
No, he kind of hand waves that part because he doesn't want people to go to his fishing village and find out that there's a bunch of fishermen who worship the sea gods and kind of pass along weird traditions that they've heard. He's really vague about that, and definitely doesn't like. He figures that's probably a bad idea if people knew that there's a fishing village where the fishermen taught magic. It's a little petty magic.
All right, let's hear about Doorstop Dugal. What does he look like, sound like, smell like?
Hey, so this is Ethan Cordray of the Technical Difficulties Gaming Podcast. Doorstop Dugal is a hulk of a man. He is 40 years old. He's probably about 6'3" or 4". He's been with the company for an awful long time. He's actually was recruited down south in Pedora. So he's got that darker skin. He doesn't say much. He's the quiet. He's the big, silent, beefy type, carrying around his enormous pole axe that he does most of the talking for him. But he's not a grim man exactly. Actually, if you get to know him, he's more easygoing than you'd expect him to be. He was a guard before he was before he joined the company, and he's happy to talk about why he prefers the life that he lives now over the life that he used to live, even though to a lot of people it might appear that there's not a great difference between serving as a guard and serving as a mercenary, but he would argue differently. He likes the active life.
Yeah, sure. And the Black Company is a real anomaly when it comes to military outfits, or especially mercenary outfits. It has extremely long memory and traditions going back centuries. It only recruits really stable people. And so most of the things that make the idea of mercenaries anathema in military circles, the unreliability, the risk that they'll turn on you as soon as a better offer comes in, the risk that they'll just turn bandit as soon as their contract runs out. All of that is very rare to happen with the Black Company, and it prides itself on that. And soldiers, once they join up, they rarely leave. It's very much home. There's a lot of esprit de corps, is what they call it, in the company. It's sort of a very large family of outcasts almost, who can trust each other and no one else. So for Dugal, in the Discord chat, I posted a thing just there. Pick a thing from a list that bugs your soldier and say that in character or out of character. I don't care which. I just want to get it into people's heads.
You got it. Well, Dugal is definitely unhappy with the whole situation with the Blues. He doesn't like this whole people skulking in the shadows trying to take down the Syndic and his bodyguards, which is to say us. Just what's the point of having a city where everybody's divided against each other? It's a recipe for disaster. If everybody could just get along and get on the same side, there'd be peace for everybody. I don't understand why that's so hard for people to figure out.
I mean, they've pulled it off everywhere else. So in Beryl, the Blues, there are basically two main political factions that are nicknamed the Reds and the Blues. The Reds are the Syndics faction, and their tradition sort of comes from old line patrician nobility. And the Blues are the opposition, the ones who haven't won the incredibly crooked elections in a while yet. And they're they are led mostly by really ambitious mercantile interests that are not as comfortable as they would like with the entrenched political powers of the city. So let's hear about Mary Maude.
Oh, Mary Maude is not, in fact, very merry at all. She is somewhat of a notorious complainer and grumper about anything and everything except for food. She will eat anything put in front of her, and in fact, quite a few things that aren't. A traumatic experience before, what drew the Black Company to recruit her was her eerie and tenacious ability to survive anything, as a mission at her with her previous mercenary group went terribly wrong, and she ended up stranded in a remote outpost that her squad is supposed to be there for maybe 6 weeks. And between a pox plague, a snowstorm, and a flood, she ended up there alone for almost 2 years after all of them were infected with the pox and nearly died. All of her squad mates died. She was the only survivor. Her time has made her a little bit strange, but very efficient. And she has an amazing party trick where if you present her with anything, she will eat it. Shoes, clothes, brass, living animals, lizards. She'll eat it for coppers because there is never enough money to make sure that you'll never be hungry again.
Yeah.
She's also, her surviving the pox has not served her well. She has broken nose, broken teeth, pox skin, hair thin and falling out. She's not dirty by any means, but it did not serve her well, and she has no particular interest in being pretty anymore because pretty doesn't feed you. Food feeds you.
Yeah. Pick a thing from that list, from one of the other two things from the list that most bugs Maude of current events.
The thing I think that bothers her the most is Beryl smolders in discontent. Riots are coming again. Riots interrupt everything that's important. They interrupt trade. They interrupt food. And back to her obsession of hunger.
Yeah.
Life would be much better if people just quietly realized how blessed they were and were not personally inconveniencing her at any moment. She doesn't particularly enjoy fighting, and she doesn't hate it, but she's not looking forward to having to beat up anyone.
All right. Speaking of wanting to beat up people, let's hear about Princess.
Yeah, hi, this is Juicy Garland. You can find me in all sorts of places, like on Delta Green Dead channels. You can find me on a lot of Tabletop Tale Spinners network stuff, Roll D5. Look me up on the internet, and you'll see what the heck I'm doing. So I think we have like a camera angle of this willowy slim figure just bound entirely from head to foot in black leather that is aged but well maintained, just the body covered in straps. And this figure is standing sort of at the foot of the bed in this barracks, just kind of lightly twitching. And if we go to the other side, you can see that there's this smile-shaped mouth hole that like outlines the jaw, and this red smear on the lips of this masculine character, the eyes vaguely covered. But you can just see through like slits in the leather that the eyes are rolled back and twitching. And suddenly there's like a shudder and a wheeze as Princess comes back to us. And the thing that bothers Princess right now is that rumors have spread of a terrible ancient evil on the loose. Horrors from the dim past called Forvalaka. No one knows what they are. And our weird and unhinged leather-clad figure has been using psychic projection periodically to try to seek this out and has thus far failed.
Yeah. So two other members of your squad are around, called whatever the heck's their names wound up.
Oh, I picked them. I should have a look.
Yeah, they're going to get very little attention unless.
Boney and Gull.
Yeah, there you go. They're the quiet ones right now. But You're starting to kind of gear up and get ready for another day out in the absolutely miserably sweltering, humid heat of the Beryl summer. You hear the very familiar voice of the sergeant that leads first platoon come into the barracks. Listen up, third on me. Everybody form up. Two-hand, you're with them. This is a sergeant named Elmo, who's he's been in the Black Company, you're pretty sure, longer than anyone else, except for a couple of the wizards who are just incredibly ancient. And he kind of, he's sort of grizzled and well put together and impatient at the moment as everybody gathers up.
Doorstop's the first of the line.
Yeah. Who's last? And why? Oh, is this a roll off?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody roll soldier.
Oh, shoot.
What are we
Shoot,
rolling?
I need dice. Be right back.
It's our soldier
rolling
skill.
Out of
Yeah.
100 or?
Yeah, it's percentile dice. You've got a skill on your sheet called soldiering, that or
Yep.
lower.
Let's just say this is not my major
Oh,
strength.
fuck me.
Nope.
I got a
failed as well.
72 over 70.
I got
Okay.
an
For
82 over 40.
I got an 81 over 70.
All right, so we're all still drunk is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all a little sluggish. You know what?
37 out of 80, so yes, I am first of the line.
Yeah. So I think it was, who got the 82? Was that Princess?
Yeah, that was Princess.
Yeah, so it probably won't take a great deal of imagination to figure out why Princess is last to show up, but give us a salient detail.
Yeah, I think that coming back from the sort of psychic projection of his spirit, there's kind of like a twitching and like and then gets a sense of awareness and then lines up and kind of scuttles over Leatherclad with a dagger at his side, just behind everyone else.
Yeah, Elmo kind of glares at that whole scene and just sort of as an aside says, why the hell are you in my platoon and not in headquarters with the other wizards?
I couldn't find it. I was trying again.
There's a moment of silence, and then he blinks and says, right. So, Syndic wants somebody for some special duty out in the city. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of moving around and something, not just standard sit on the sidewalk guard duty. And your squad volunteered. So, two-hand, you're going to be leading them. Get over to the supply corporal and gear up, and then you're going to follow me up to the Syndic's offices. And when we get to the Syndic's offices, he kind of gives everybody a very meaningful stare, 1 second for each of you. You're all going to be professionals and are not going to embarrass the company. So at the supply corporal, the corporal is named Fishhead, and he's sorting through piles of gear. He's a native of Beryl, one of the few in the company who kind of thrives on the heat of the summer. He's very cheerful. Here's what's going on, and kind of helps you sort through things. Says, don't overburden yourselves. You ain't setting up camp. And what kind of armor is each of you going to be decked out in when you head up? The usual, like I said, is going to be chainmail for if you're expecting, if you're on normal duty, right, you're going to be in chainmail because your job is to be ready to have a really serious fight with somebody, or at least look like you are. But days like this, it's often a lot better to not go that heavily decked out. So, Krabs, what about you? What are you wearing?
Reinforced studded leather. Reinforced leather.
So remember that the reinforced leather is going to give you disadvantage on agility tests when that comes up. Agility is one of the other skills, and we'll talk about what disadvantage means when we need to. Over your armor, the tradition is to wear a black surcoat to identify you as part of the Black Company. In practice, that black is way more often kind of a dingy gray because, nobody bothers to get it dyed as often as you would have to keep it black for any length of time. Dugal, what about you? How are you outfitted?
Well, I do normally wear chainmail, so I'm going to go down to partial if I can.
Yeah, like that would be just a helmet or just a mail shirt or something like that.
All right, so yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, which is it?
The partial. Oh, I see. Either torso or head. We're gonna go head. If there's gonna be one piece of armor you wear, it's gonna be a helmet. That's what you learn after seeing people get hit in the head when they don't have helmets.
Yeah. So with partial, your disadvantage is going to be on stamina instead. Which will be better at ducking and weaving when it comes up.
So this only armors my head then?
Yes. All right.
And I can't stack this up with leather armor on my other parts.
It's
just either.
It's just, okay. Yeah, no, it's a little more abstract than that.
That's okay.
Yeah. What's Maude getting out in?
Maude is going out with quilted leather.
All right. Does she have
lightweight,
kind of her usual gear? I mean, that would be pretty common, right? Because you have to sort of.
It's her usual. It's her usual gear, and Maude doesn't talk much about her time before being a mercenary. But oddly enough, her gear has actually. It's not perfect, but it has actually been dyed and been kept up because she is quite clever with her hands and knows a thing or two about crafting, sewing, seamstressing, and so her quilted it's really nice actually, and her standard has been redyed.
All right. What about Princess?
Yeah, this may come as no surprise, but reinforced leather is what Princess is wearing.
What is
the full bodysuit?
Yeah, what is the reinforced part of that look?
The bodysuit is covered in all of these buckles, and I think that all over where there are clear spots, there are small, like blackened plates, like on the skull, I imagine. There are like rectangular pieces with little studs on them, and like studs everywhere that the belts aren't placed.
Yeah, and you might have kind of pure boilie, which is this really astonishingly like hard as wood treated leather.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's in like odd arcane shapes all over the place. They're not always like perfect rectangles. Sometimes they're inscribed, or sometimes they're in an odd like pentagon shape, or just capturing that weird sorcery. Right.
Yeah. So your standard gear is that it's going to be common to everybody is a dagger and a gallon water skin, which is heavy as hell if you've ever tried to tie a gallon of milk around your shoulder, a first aid pouch that a lot of people regard as a couple of pounds of unnecessary spare weight, but the chief surgeon of the Black Company pitches a fit when you don't carry it out. And an infantry sword, which is your basic standard issue, 2.5 foot long arming sword to wear on your belt, even if you never have drawn one in anger. Sergeants like Elmo go bananas if you show up for work without it. And then everybody is going to get one thing that's sort of unique, or not unique, but particular to their role in the world. Most often that's a shield, right? But it might be a halberd or a crossbow or a short bow, or a pole arm like I already said halberd, like a pole axe, something like that. So what is that for you, Crabs?
A crossbow.
Oh, right. Yeah, you said a crossbow. Very good.
Yeah.
Dugal?
I got my handy pole axe, trusty pole axe.
Okay. Pole axe, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is it looks just like a halberd, but instead of an axe at one end of it, it replaces the axe with a nice steel punchy hammerhead. Maude, what about you? What's your
All right, so I know what I want, but if Word of God is like, no, that's not going to work, I will accept it. I want Maude to have a large cudgel. And when I say cudgel, I don't mean something that has been well made. I mean something that looks like it is, oddly enough, like a big club that like a caveman would use. It is a large, well-polished, balanced stick that's clearly pulled from a downed tree. And she also has a very small round shield. So it's less of a shield and more like a really, really good kind of awkward arm protector. She's a bit of a basher by nature. Her tendency is to go in and use her shield to beat somebody and then finish up with it with her other beaten instrument.
Yeah, very good. And Princess?
Yeah, I took the arbalest, which is like an extra fancy crossbow, if I read it right earlier.
Yeah, actually, I called up because the terminology is kind of not arcane, but it's the meanings of these things are different places you look. But yeah, the arbalest is like, it's a huge crossbow. Sorry, just a second. I'm trying to paste a couple of things in Discord images.
Yeah, and it has a loading mechanism, right?
Yeah, I just posted a couple of reference photos, but yeah, basically an arbalest is like a jumbo-sized, humongous, 3 or 4 feet tall end-to-end crossbow that's so powerful that you have to use this winding winch thing that's at the far end of it to wind it up and pull the string back. The string being this super, super, super thick, almost rope, because the thing is so heavy.
How are y'all going to be dragging that around?
Oh, it's just strapped to his back. And it only comes off on special occasions. Either way, Princess tries to stay at a distance, and this helps.
Yeah. I mean, the arbalest is it's like one of these fire and forget weapons. You shoot it and then it's shot, and by the time you get it reloaded and ready to go again, the fight might be over. There are rumors sort of whispering through the barracks as you guys are getting ready. People are saying that lightning came out of nowhere the other day and smashed open one of the crypts on Necropolitan Hill, which is this big, huge, region of like mausoleums and tombs. And everybody's saying that it was some kind of weird sorcery magic, because that's where the Forvalaka were trapped and entombed, and now they're out and free again. Whatever they were. Somebody else is saying that Otto, one of your fellow soldiers, said that Tom, who's one of the wizards, said that it's a demon that drinks blood. And then there are plenty of others who just are sort of scoffing and saying that this all just sounds like the blues are making things up to scare people away from their hideouts. Do any of you have the sorcerer, priest, scholar, or shaman background?
As a matter of fact, I am a sorcerer.
Yeah, make a lore test.
Ooh, this is a strength. 24 under 80.
Yeah. Here, you know what? I'm sorry. Give me just a second. I'm going to private message this to you, and you can decide how to deliver it rather than me narrating for you. There you go.
I love moments like this. I'm pumped.
Okay. I just private messaged you your insights if you want to reveal them at all.
Yeah, I think that given all of this sort of out-of-body ranging that Princess has been attempting, there's a sudden moment of clarity, and maybe he looks at Maude and just goes, the Forvalaka is a spirit of hunger and theft that feeds and is never sated. Who knows what it looks like, But it's legendary. We should go kill it.
Oh,
Well, I certainly agree. It sounds like something needs to be killed if that's what it is.
I mean, we don't know what it looks like, but I'll tell you this. Not a fat guy. If it's hungry, it's not a fat guy. If it's hungry, it's not a fat guy. That's how it works. You're not hungry if you're full.
You hear Elmo's voice from out in the hall saying, "Third, are you ready yet?"
Born ready, sir.
Yes, mother.
And
So
also
a
naked.
little while later, you're standing at attention, off to the side in the packed offices of the Syndic at the very top of the paper tower, which is at the heart of the bastion. Pardon me. There are murmurs kind of rippling around among the scribes and lawyers who are waiting and occasionally stepping up as the Syndic signs scroll after scroll. The Syndic is this kind of short, lean fellow in heavy red velvet of state, despite the heat, and he looks a little even more anxious than usual this morning. He kind of shifts his gaze, from one advisor to another. And I want to get our first group test. This is a group alertness test. The way a group test works is whichever of you is worst at it makes the roll. One of you, somebody else, wants to make the roll instead. But to do that, you have to risk gaining a point of stress, which is to say, if you try it and you fail, you check a stress box on your little tracker of 5. Okay. So in the Google folder that I shared, if you have the link to that, if you click a couple of links in for the, I added a folder for test soldiers and then a subfolder with today's date. Inside that, there's your character sheets as I have them, and a sheet for the squad as a whole. Okay. The sheet for the squad has all of your skills all lined up in columns, so you can easily scan and see which of you gets to be the guy on the group test.
That is useful.
So who has the lowest alertness on that list?
That looks like Mary Maude.
Yeah, she's at
30.
30. She is chronically unfucking aware.
Right. Okay. Are you rolling it, or is somebody else volunteering as tribute here?
Well, I do have the highest, so maybe I should just go ahead and volunteer to roll my 80.
Okay.
Take a stress then?
No, if you fail, you'll gain a point of stress.
Oh, I see. So I want to succeed. Well, let's see what the dice say. 31. That's success under 80.
Okay. And so you hear at one point as one of the advisors is kind of leaning in and wringing his hands, whispering to the Syndic. You hear the Syndic kind of angrily hiss, "I don't care about some ship. Hundreds of them put into harbor every day. And so tell me about every coin changing hands at the market." And the advisor kind of, nods his head in, at that reprimand, and instinctively sort of shoots a worried glance out the big window that takes up a good chunk of part of the wall. You guys are not, you're at that wall, but you're not at the window, right? So if anyone were to get curious and want to, and this is mostly Dugal, unless Dugal wants to mutter to somebody else, what ship is he talking about?
Well, did you say curious? Because one of my flaws is curious.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
All right. So with a soldiering test, you could sidle over to that window and glance out without it drawing attention from somebody that's likely to give you an ugly look like your corporal or your sergeant.
I've been practicing this move, 62 success, since long before I was with the Black Company. It's one of the things that got me in trouble as a guard in the old days.
So out on a few miles away, out in the bay, is Fortress Island, which is a pretty substantial island that has, believe it or not, a big fortress on it. And it serves as kind of an external set of docks for the city. Ships come in that don't have permission to come into the harbor. They or that are having trouble or getting searched or whatever, they dock at Fortress Island. You see, more just off of Fortress Island, even at this distance, you can tell that it's a shockingly huge ship, black, like, stem to stern black, with, if your eyes don't deceive you, way more banks of oars than any kind of ship ought to have. A huge black sail that has not been reefed, even though it's at anchor, that is kind of billowing out as if with wind, but is not making the ship move, or giving it trouble the way it ought to. I mean, you're not a sailor, but, even you could recognize that. And the sail is decorated with this kind of elaborate design of this huge silver skull with jagged, broken fangs and one eye flickering red in the eye socket.
Well, Dugal doesn't know much about ships, but he does think maybe crabs might know a little bit more about ships. So he's going to give crabs the eye, sort of tell him to look out there and have a look at that ship.
Yeah, crabs will wander, scoot over as subtly as possible, and then take a gander at your ship.
Make your own soldiering roll to make it look like you're supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, 18.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's, all of that, and you can confirm. I mean, you count 5 banks of oars, which is ridiculous. Imagine you were an oarsman on that top level, right? Your oar would have to be hundreds of pounds that you are having to mess with to be that long. I mean, it's just, none of it's possible. The ship itself isn't possible. It's so big.
Well,
did it all fall apart?
Yeah, and they need so many crew. They need so much food. The ship just, there's diminishing returns on oarsmen versus propulsion.
If I remember right, Crabs has a sorceress background.
Yeah,
you have kind of a psychic sense that you can. Sometimes, a lot of times you recognize offhand, but you can also sort of deliberately concentrate to get a read on something if you want to try a power test.
Hell yeah, I do.
That is another one of the skills. It represents, for sorcerers, it represents, sort of magical efficacy. Mm-hmm. For anyone, it represents sort of strength of personality and ability to intimidate.
And I succeeded at 25 under 50.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a shock that you recognize magic not only in the minor illusion of the flickering fire in the eye socket on the sail, which, that's easy, but in the very planks of the ship itself. I mean, the whole thing just sort of radiates sorcery.
Well, that makes sense, given its ridiculous configuration.
You hear some of the functionaries kind of muttering, one of them thinks it's some warlord's vessel, some pirate king. I mean, look at that skull. That's got to mean plunder. Somebody else says they heard it just showed up at midnight, just drifted in on a ghost tide.
Could I maybe use psychic projection formally now to get a clearer sense of the vibe of this ship?
So what that would take is, number one, you would need to you need to describe, are you also going sort of sneaking over to get a look at it? And the more
I think I'm gonna try to be sneaky about it and sort of scuttle my way over without really causing a disruption or being paid attention to.
Yeah, that'll need another sorcery roll. Or it's not sorcery, soldiering roll.
Soldiering or stealth?
Soldiering.
Okay.
Everybody knows you're here.
That's fair. Well, I did just make it with a 37 under 40.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yet again, you guys kind of, shuffle casually and look like you're supposed to be working.
I'm just trying to imagine Princess looking casual, and I can't do it.
Well, yeah.
You're not looking casual. What you're doing is you're looking the same kind of weird as always.
That's fair. And that doesn't stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, you can perceive what I just described for crabs to use a spell, psychic projection. That's kind of elaborate, right?
Yep.
So ordinarily, that's going to involve both, some weird ceremonial activity, even if it's just sitting and meditating, and chanting. It's a whole thing. We talked earlier about when you cast spells, you can do things to augment a spell. One of the ways you can augment a spell is to remove the need for gestures of control, is what they're called, or to remove the need for words of power. And when you look at the description for, which spell are we talking about?
Psychic projection.
Yeah.
I can read it. I have it in front of me. So
Yeah.
you let your spirit detach from your flesh and awake in the astral world of magical power, where your psychic senses are always focused, and gain much more detail. You see the design of spells and the strengths and weaknesses of spirits and demons. The non-living physical world is vague and ill-defined, but your ears hear all that happens around your immobile body. Taking physical damage or doing anything in the physical world ends the spell.
Okay, so in order to cast that in a way that's not going to absolutely draw attention, you would need to bolster it with 2 augmentations. One to cast without words of power, and another to cast without gestures of control, right? The 2 mandatory components. So if you want to look at your augmentation sources options on page 29 of the rules, you can kind of decide.
Yeah, I think I'd like to let loose a little bit of blood, and
that I think is gonna be a stealth roll as well as the spell.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, what page was it on?
29.
Yeah, and I think maybe, given that it's a ship and it's on the ocean, I would probably use a bit of salt.
Okay, so all of that, that's going to be sort of your arcane ingredients, right? That'll get you 1 augmentation. And in fact, I'm sorry, this is a useful playtesting thing.
Yeah.
So the way arcane ingredients is described, it says cast with weird implements, substances, or animal sacrifices. I'm going to change that to say and or animal sacrifices, and to try to make it a little more obvious that you can only do this once.
Okay, then I think Princess is going to look at crabs and is just going to go, get me a crab or a fish.
Yeah, I definitely have a crab on me.
Why do you have a crab on you?
I mean, his name is Crabs.
It was going to be my lunch. They're better fresh. Yeah. You just crack it open. It's like a candy bar. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to take a group stealth roll. So which of you, and it's not just the 2 of you, because everybody else is at risk of getting really curious and craning their heads and looking at what's going on over there. So which of your squad has the shittiest stealth?
Me.
We got a couple of good candidates. We have 3. Stealth is our group dump stat.
Okay. So
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maude, somebody else wants to risk a stress to step up. Okay, Maude,
I can risk the stress.
Okay.
Because mine is good, actually.
Yeah, okay, go for it. And I mean, that'll make sense pretty easy if you pull it off, right? Because you're the one causing all the commotion.
All right, I will do a stealth roll.
All right.
And I got a 46 under 70.
Okay, needs no stress. You and you get Crabs to sort of he's I guess staring straight ahead at attention, kind of pawn his lunch pouch over to you.
Yeah, and with like grasping fingers, Princess just snatches the crab and pulls out a dagger and is just like, this kills the crab. And then he just cuts its head off. Then I think uses his own blood and like pricks his finger and drops it onto the like open gaping wound on the crab where its face was, and then chucks it into the ocean.
Okay. Well, you're too far from the ocean to do that.
Okay. All right.
I like the idea he just goes to chuck it in the ocean, just lands wetly in the hallway. The drum of the moment is lost.
Or like
it'll land on some roof down there. But okay, that's arcane ingredients, right? That's one augmentation of the two.
Yep.
And the other one you could easily do just by exerting yourself, which means the spell casting roll you're about to make is going to risk a point of stress.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, so last thing on this, and obviously I'm working through this in a lot of detail because this is all kind of new to everybody. Sorry. Psychic projection for a normal sorcerer like you has a base casting time of 2 hours.
I saw that.
Meditation and shit. You can, with another augmentation, bring that down to only 10 minutes. You have
I was going to ask to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so where's that third augmentation coming from?
Can that come from gestures? Can I slap them back in there?
That will be really obvious. Like you don't do secretly.
Well, I mean, assistance. Like, can Crab silently help? Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, can Crabs help?
Yeah.
Actually, sure. Once you know what they're up to, you can kind of lean in and help with the psychic focus. So, okay, sure. So what that'll mean is Crabs too risks one stress on this roll. Princess makes the roll. It's a power roll. Spell works. If you fail, it doesn't, and each of you gains a point of stress because of trying too hard here.
I love it. All right. I'm going to make that power roll with a 1.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Under 70.
Yeah. All right. So if you happen to already have a point of stress, you can remove it because you rolled a critical success.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no, I did not. So I'm all clear.
Okay. Well, so, you could have. Imagine how great that would have been. In the meantime, you sort of slip off into that weird reverie, as your body kind of stands there, at attention, staring off into the offices without actually focusing on anything,
eyes barely visible, rolled back in my head, just slowly wobbling.
As far as anybody knows, you're just standing in attention waiting. But in the meantime, your spirit kind of, after 10 minutes of meditation and focus and kind of silently going through the mantras, detaches, and you look around and kind of in your dim perceptions of the physical world, see your group here and yourself, and then off in the distance, that big ship that seems to kind of shine from this perspective, from this way of seeing it.
Is there anything I can tell about the nature of all the magic in and around it?
Yeah. You can kind of drift out towards it to get closer looks and make another. Okay. So you're going to make another power roll, but I'll tell you first that you can. Yeah. I mean, this wouldn't be a surprise, but the sorcery that's baked into the planks and rigging of the ship is long term, extremely powerful, just in the sense of there's so much shit to enchant. And this sorcery is tightly wound. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's not going to evaporate tomorrow. It wouldn't do much good to the ship if it were, but it kind of confirms that, this whole thing is not a job that most could do. You couldn't, you and all the wizards of the other 4 wizards of the Black Company put together couldn't do this unless you spent, 50 years at it. It's big.
Yeah, I rolled a 23 under 70 for that power roll.
Yeah. So focusing harder, you kind of catch a sort of whiff of hell coming off of it, for lack of a better word. The kind of not corporeal, purely psychic stench that accumulates that only wizards could notice, and only in the right circumstances, when you're around something that has heavily involved the use of summoned demons from whatever deadly, netherworld those come from.
Is there any sense of a relationship with the Forvalaka?
No.
Okay.
No, and this is all the patterns of power, the sort of the way that it's arrayed here is all strange to you. I mean, not strange, but unknown. This doesn't come from magical traditions that you've seen around. So for the rest of you, right, the rest of you are sort of waiting and bored. It's a little entertaining that you're trying to kind of cover for your incredibly weird wizard friend here, but even that gets old after a few, 5 or 10 minutes.
Just to say, is Maude now aware of the ship, or is she just still? Because she's the only one that didn't creep over to look at it.
Yeah, I'm sure. You guys have had a chance to sort of mutter, big ass ship out there,
Yeah, Maude leans over to Krabs after a moment and says, "If my dick was that small, I wouldn't have a ship that big. I'm just saying. It makes it obvious."
Crab ponders this
obvious.
very philosophically. Yes, I see. Yes.
But deep thoughts with Jack Handy. Used to say. Finally, the syndic seems to notice that you guys are all there, sweating in all of your, in your armor and in gear, and he kind of finds Elmo among you and says, "Sergeant, yes, there you are. Look, my daughter Sabina been pestering me about her lessons. She needs an escort to the conservatory in the Poets District. Keep her safe. And now, don't hit me with any superstitious nonsense about the Forvalaka out there. You understand? Good. And he kind of waves dismissively, and you realize that the girl who must be Sabina has kind of come out of a side room where she's just been waiting. And she's this kind of very plain looking, kind of short teenage, kind of stumpy teenage girl wearing incredibly valuable clothes and jewels. And she kind of looks you all over with profound skepticism and says, "Try not to bore me." And
Maude also, once again, leans over to who she has decided is now going to be her second in all of this and says, "Oh, we're going to escort her? I didn't know that was the kind of services we were selling."
I assume that's Crab. Crab, is that you
Yeah.
ignoring Maude, or?
More than I've Krabs is a simple fisherman at heart. He had no idea how to respond to that. He's like, yes, I guess. Okay.
I mean, that works. Maude always knows Krabs is likely to just agree with her out of not knowing what else to do.
One of my best qualities.
Yeah. All right, just a second. I'm about to post a stress tracker for your 2 key NPCs. They get 5 stress boxes just like you guys. So Two Hand now has 1 point of stress now that he knows what the mission is and which soldiers have been randomly picked to undertake it with him.
I don't know about you all, but Dugal's really good at just taking a person from one place to another. He's really happy with his job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as I'm sure it's occurred to Dugal many times that if every soldier were him, then the world would get along a lot better.
It would certainly be a lot simpler, but honestly less entertaining. He likes watching Princess and Krabs do their thing, and Maude's an entertaining sort of person to be around.
Yeah. So
she's a bit of a downer.
With all your gear, you have to now walk back down 150 steps to get to the courtyard. Servants carry Sabina, in a little litter down around the big staircases. And when you get to the courtyard, big wide courtyard, like a lot of the oldest, most official buildings, the Bastion is sort of a lot of marble, or at least marble facades, over hard stone. And in the courtyard is a carriage that Sabina is going to ride in, drawn by 2 fresh horses with a driver named Cowlet, who's this teenage boy with a cleft palate, kind of a speech impediment, who's become a trusted runner for the company and wants nothing more than to become a soldier of the Black Company someday. Also taking up a lot more room in the big courtyard is a complete section of 3rd Platoon, 30 soldiers of the company, arrayed up in full combat gear, chainmail and shields and the works. And the corporal that's taking them out is sort of forming them up and consulting with their sergeant, and then gets the nod as the big gates come open. Elmo tells your group to just stand at attention and wait. Meanwhile, Sabina is getting into her carriage. I want to go down the list here. Each of you, on a scale of, say, 1 to 5, with 5 being the most approachable, tell me how approachable you think your soldier is to Sabina. Krabs?
Oh, probably he thinks it's like a 4 or 5, but it's more like a 3, like at best. Like he's pretty friendly and nice to people, but like, the weather-beaten face and all the scars, he smells like Krabs. Like, let's be honest. The
constant sailor jargon. Dugal, what about you?
Well, if she's looking for a avuncular uncle type guard figure, then that would probably be more like a 4. If she's looking for somebody to have like a friendly conversation with, that's probably more of a 2.
Maude, dare I ask?
1. As Sabina gets into the carriage and they're lined up outside it, Maude, to no one, says, if they're going to have me run after that carriage, I'm going to eat one of those fucking horses when we get there.
Princess?
Oh, is -1 an option?
Right.
With my unhinged flaw and my weird leather suit and my weird red lips and just everything.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, the flaw mentioned does. Dugal, put a check mark on your character sheet on your flaw for curious. Flaw comes into play in a way that either causes grief or requires so many rolls that the risk of grief is really high, then you get to check it.
Yay, sweet.
At the end of the session, that'll help your skills get better. Okay, so then Dugal, as Sabina kind of clambers up into the carriage, you know, you're sort of standing there at attention, and she taps your helmet with her fan.
Yes, lady.
She kind of looks you over, looks at the others over, and says, "I'm going to call you Uncle." She says it in a way that pretty clearly indicates she's trying to decide still whether she's going to in fact think of you as her new boy toy. But she says, "Uncle, why are we waiting? Why don't those men get out of the way?"
As you wish, lady. Can I roll soldiering to have a guess as to what they're doing?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
79, that's a success, under 80.
Oh man. Yeah, you're well informed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this section of third squad third platoon. You remember there was a discussion yesterday. It wasn't my formal briefing, but it was sort of word going around that they've been tasked with going out to the rubbish gate, which is one of the big city gates on the walls on the opposite side of the city. That they've been tasked with going out there and essentially keeping an eye on the city gates, just in case the urban cohorts, which are the official army of Beryl, can't protect them in case of trouble, or won't protect them in case of trouble.
Well, ma'am, we've got a bit of a shift in assignment for the company coming through, and it looks like they're setting out to go do some gate guard duty. So it's nothing really out of the ordinary. It's just, it takes quite a bit of time to form up a group of men like that.
I have things to do.
Well, ma'am, I suppose we could go over there and see if their officer is waiting around for something, or whether he can expedite things.
Exactly.
I'm happy to do that, ma'am.
Do that, Uncle Private.
Yes, ma'am.
Uncle Private Maude is just she's trying not to laugh because she understands her superior officer, but like her very ugly face is bright red as she's like, "Uncle Private, looks like somebody does sell a certain brand of services."
And she closes the carriage door and sits in there impatiently. You actually
do be the only one eating that horse, I'll tell you what.
Well, I will not respond to that. And I will see if I can go find whoever's in charge of the muster over there, and see if I can sit rep from him.
Yeah, in fact, Elmo is already over there talking to the sergeant of third platoon, is this sort of short, notoriously mean-spirited sergeant named Mercy, who and Elmo sees you coming over, and he kind of shakes his head and waves you back to your squad. And then a few seconds later, he finishes talking to Mercy and comes over.
I'll just make the hand gesture of, the little point at the carriage.
Yeah. He plainly gets it. And he comes over and just tells you they're heading out. They've got all right. They've been waiting for the word. And
little lady's getting her
panties in a twist.
Her princess on up there wants to get us moving. So
I don't think it'll be the first time today. But he looks up and on like the walkway, above the gates. As the 30 men of third platoon set out, they go on their way, and then Elmo gives it a couple of minutes before he tells you guys to get going. And you notice that the captain, who's the head of the Black Company, who's like the father figure for everybody, he's this sort of big, burly, gray-haired soldier with a kind of a patrician background, but it's almost entirely buried in the decades and decades that he's been serving with regular soldiers. but he's kind of watching and gives a short nod to everybody. And Elmo says, "Right, set out. Expect to see you back this evening with
Yes, sir.
Interesting stories to tell." And,
Well, let's hope not.
and then Two Hand says, "Right, move out. Let's go." You kind of arrays everyone around the carriage, some in front, some in back, some on the sides, and you set out into the city. As you march out of the bastion, you're escorted. You escort the carriage along the Avenue of the Morning, which is one of the handful of great major avenues that run through the city. I beg your pardon. This is Avenue of the Syndics is what you're starting out. You're heading towards the Avenue of the Morning.
Again, I'm sorry, Maude realizes that she doesn't really know where they're going. She's like a bunch of jackasses following two horses.
Yeah, exactly. It's hot. The city is just oppressively hot and sweaty and smelly. Even the Avenue of the Syndics, which is one of the largest streets in the city, is choked with crowds. And give me another group alertness test. Whoever's worst at it, say you, and if somebody else wants it, they say so.
I'm not going to take this one for the team. Somebody else.
My alertness is 30.
Okay, so let's try to remember it's Maude and bad at, unless somebody else wants to risk the stress.
Yeah.
Anyone? Going once?
Not me.
I have played with fire for too long.
All right, do it, Maude.
All right, you happy cocksuckers, let's go. This is not my normal behavior. This is definitely the character. Oh, I absolutely ate it on that one. 57 over 30. Maude has no idea what's going on. She's got sweat in her ass. She's got sweat in her eyes. She's actually debating not eating the horse because it's too damn hot to eat the horse. Really did anyway, but she'll be mad about it.
Yeah. Like I don't know, a half hour or so into your march, you realize that Two Hand is getting even more kind of grim and alert and wary and stressed out. It takes you a while to piece together the reason for that is that there are often people watching cautiously from behind shutters overhead in buildings that have little scraps of blue pinned to the doors. That's gonna edit Two Hand's entry to change another one of his happy faces to a point of stress.
Ooh.
And Uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
It's disgusting out here. How do people live like this?
Ma'am, if you'd like to go back to the palace and spend your whole life there, I'm more than happy to take you back.
I did not say that. I asked, how do people live like this?
In my experience,
we go insane and we kill people.
My
so
understanding, ma'am, and my
What did he say? The woman.
I said it's very difficult and we believe in ourselves wholeheartedly.
Confidence is key.
You used to it after a while.
Yeah, all of those actions. All of those responses strike her as incredibly dull, and she kind of rolls her eyes and sags out of sight again, fanning herself. The distance to the conservatory from the bastion is about 4 miles, but it feels way longer with all of the crowds. It's going to take about 2 hours to get there when all goes well.
Maude is quietly but near continuously complaining under her breath the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It is, if you can tune her out, it's probably fine, but if you're the type to be sensitive to it, it's probably making everything worse.
Do you have a flaw along those lines by any chance?
My flaw, actually, and the one I initially took is ugly, but incredibly irritating might be a better choice.
What I was going to say is if you want to check on that flaw for character advancement later, you can try to ramp up all the complaining and succeed at a influence or power roll and force one of your companions to gain a point of stress.
As a character, she definitely would. As a player, I feel real bad about doing that to somebody else.
Do it.
That's fine. You can sort of keep it reined in just enough. You after about an hour, you come to the Harbor Circle, this big plaza where the 4 great avenues of the city all converge. And then you pass through that and continue along the Avenue of the Morning, continuing to the east. Eventually, the Avenue of the Morning will end at another of the great city gates, but you're not going quite that far. You come into the Poets District, cracked buildings, old wood and crumbling stone and marble that bear chipped and painted inscriptions, some of them praising the Reds, the Syndic's faction, others cursing them. In one place, there's this sort of gray-blue slop that's not quite paint that reads, "Knives in the Syndic's eyes. Dogs are scavenging refuse. Angry or frightened faces watch from the alleys. People clear the path as the carriage approaches, and Two-Hand kind of gets your attention and says, "Eyes up," and he kind of gestures upward. Up in a second-story windows, you see half-starved, sickly-looking men tracking the carriage with hollow eyes. Most of them wear sort of makeshift blue badges or sashes. I mean, none of them are armed that you can tell, but who knows what they might have up there hidden. Group soldiering test.
Oh. All right. That's
What's
gonna be
soldiering.
I think it's me.
It would be you unless
It's
somebody
Princess.
wants to. All the rest of us are pretty good at soldiering, except for Princess. So I can take. I'll risk a point of stress.
All right, roll it.
Crabs with this 70 and gets a 62 under 70.
Nice.
All right, very good. No stress. Yeah, you at one point you kind of distinctly see one of these watchers nod to another, like they're coordinating in some way. There's and then somebody in an alley nods back and then turns and leaves. The man up in the window sees you looking up and kind of cracks a thin smile.
Okay.
Oh, it's my
Sabina-
favorite channel, the shit show.
So Sabina's not paying attention to any of it. She's like, tossing scraps of food out to sickly dogs,
I will signal to the others.
Wages.
Yeah, I will signal to the others that this is not a good situation. I'm going to take out my crossbow and load it, and have that ready.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yeah. I'm not going to be subtle about it. So yeah.
You're nearly
Right.
there when up ahead you spy what's called the Scudder Fountain, this once grand big fountain that's long dry and has now been repurposed as a checkpoint by the urban cohorts. Makeshift barricades surrounding it. There are 6 of the militiamen there, stopping travelers at narrow openings. They have spears and crossbows, and their commander, you can tell by the style of helmet that he has on, is a centurion, equivalent to one of your sergeants. But he watches your approach kind of keenly and then steps forward with this sort of forced smile and says, "So the Black Company, busy day?" looks you over, looks the carriage over. You need group alertness test.
Yeah. Let's hope not. I will take this one from the team for alertness. 24 success.
Okay. You notice more than a few kind of surreptitious signals and nods go between the 6 men of the cohorts. I mean, they're all watching the centurion for their cues, but they're also all really wary and on edge and kind of ready to start killing if they have to.
Well, I will grip my poleaxe and say, "Oh, let's hope it's not a busy day." Why would it be?
It's hot. Why are you? Can we please move? Old man, move. It's so hot. It's so hot.
Sure would be a shame for things to get busy in weather like this, wouldn't it?
If I pissed myself, it would be colder.
Is that, sorry, Dugal, that sounded like something you wanted to be kind of low key, but clearly potentially intimidating to them?
Yes, correct? I think so. Yeah, this is like, if you're going to try something, what if you just didn't try that thing?
Roll power.
Power, okay.
Test.
Well, I have some points in power. 35 under 50 success.
Okay, yeah, no, that he gets the hint and kind of stares at you and stares at the carriage, like plainly itching to do an inspection and see what can be so important that's in there. But he takes a step back and kind of gives his men a curt nod and says, go on through. No need to hold up the traffic here.
You're very kind. Thank you, sir.
Be careful over there. Be careful, though. The city's on a boil.
Sure,
no, it's already boiling like a goddamn frog.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you boil frogs?
You don't?
No.
It's the only way to
The
make
occasional rat.
No, frogs, you gotta cut. You get their legs out and then you fry them. That's way better than boiling them.
That honestly does sound better than boiling them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably tastier, but the problem is with that, you can always burn yourself when you try to fry them.
Well, that's a skill issue, sounds like to me.
Yeah, frankly, that's a you problem because I have never had any issues. Also, I've never fried anything.
I would not trust you with a fryer, to be fair.
Look, I'll fry all the fish and frogs you bring me. That's fine. It's hardly an inconvenience.
Uncle?
I'm going to remember you said that. Because you're going to be frying some shit for me.
Yeah,
not shit, only fish and frogs. It's void for anything else.
Wait, are fish
you
frogs?
Put all these rules on everything.
Wait, are fish frogs?
No, they don't have scales.
Two hands kind of very, very irritably and loudly says, "Can this goddamn racket? Keep your eyes open and your ears open too."
Sorry.
Uncle!
Yeah. I sigh expansively, having been taken away from the only conversation I've enjoyed this entire day so far.
No, that's not going to be allowed.
And I go talk back to the door. Yes, ma'am.
She's opened the what do you call it, the shutter on the window to let more air in. He says, "It is unbearably hot. Can we not go faster?"
Can you?
Yes, ma'am. We're I'll see what I could do. I'll talk to the
Thank you.
Talk to the driver. The lady wants to go faster.
Oh, I could go faster, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to keep up, would you?
Might be a little I mean, I'm not talking about galloping or anything. I'm just talking about maybe picking up the walking pace. I don't know what horses can do. Is there a middle gear on these horses?
What's a gear?
Give me a group alertness test. This one has advantage. What advantage means here is a little bit like D&D. You roll twice, keep the best result.
Well, if you got advantage, I'll let somebody else do it.
I'll do it. Let's see if we can get this.
Good luck.
The most oblivious, belligerent person in the party. Again, ass sweating. First one's an 82.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually blinded by my own sweat and sense of rage.
Right.
The second one is a 56. I have become distracted by my underwear wedging itself in my ass.
And so as this kind of all this is going on, Two-Hand kind of, hisses, "Oh, God damn it." And
What fresh hell is this?
behind you, the people have started following the carriage at a distance, not like right up in your face, but
It's a parade.
maybe about 24 of them now. Most aren't, we're not wearing any colors. They're just angry people. And this is going to be another point of stress for your corporal, who's responsible for all this. And now give me a group soldiering test to see how smartly you guys have arrayed yourselves around.
Is anyone taking risk, or am I rolling this?
I can actually do this one because I think my soldiering's like 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it says.
And I would like to do something besides talk shit and eat shit. So let's see. 20. Wait, no, 2.
Okay.
Math is hard. Sorry, I mistook.
All
It's a 2.
Either way, no stress. Yeah, you've sort of arranged yourself so that those of you with ranged weapons are at the rear of the escort. That'll be, who will that be? That'll be Princess and Crab, I think, with his crossbow.
Yeah.
And having noticed this crowd gathering, and there are more people paying attention to it up ahead and kind of getting interested, something's happening. Two-Hand kind of shakes his head and says, "We're almost there. It's just ahead. Double time it. Let's go. You want to end up on the end of a rope? Let's go. Keep it tight." And
Can I swing in the wind and cool off?
Cowlet, snaps the traces, and the carriage kind of picks up, clattering along the cobbles. And you need a group stamina test to see if you reach the safety of the conservatory gates before this crowd closes in and causes trouble for you.
All right, so now stamina is the one that I have trouble with.
Stamina, I am maxed the heck out.
Yeah.
Those 2 years of living alone in the woods, I learned nothing about plants, but I learned a lot about being too damn stubborn to die.
Stamina, you might have stamina disadvantaged because of wearing armor. So check your character sheet. It's over there on the left side of the sheet. We'll have the...
I don't think so, because I'm not wearing... I lose to my agility, but not to my armor, because I'm only wearing quilted.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that penalizes agility, but not stamina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. There you go.
Yeah, for Maude.
Test. So the group test involves the skill, right? When you're determining who rolls and who rolls highest, who rolls lowest, it just pays attention to the skill, not to the odds. So
awesome. That was exactly the question I was going to ask when I lost my audio.
If in this case you luck out and you have somebody with a good skill who's taking the role and who doesn't have disadvantage, right? Then they're more likely to succeed, which is more likely to help the rest of the crew keep up the pace, right?
Okay.
So roll it.
I have an 80 stamina, if that's okay.
Nice.
Take it.
Math is hard. Let's go shopping. Is that a 1? No, 11. I rolled an 11.
Okay. Just like in Delta Green, matching numbers are criticals. So that's a critical success. So
I see that we are almost out of the heat, and I open it the fuck up.
All right. Well, more importantly, though, how do you make sure everybody else opens it the fuck up so you're not the only one in there?
How do I mean, probably just some of people are around, but the guy that's next to me, whoever's next to me, is definitely, I'm just going to reach out and grab them by the back of the neck and just lift and pull. You're running with me, boy. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on. It's hot. I want to get out of the sun. I promise not to talk for 20 minutes.
Are you known for keeping promises like that?
No.
Okay. So
I won't
success.
Keep it for the full 20 minutes, but I will shut up for a while, for a little bit.
Rolling a critical success means that whoever rolled, you get to lose stress if you have it, but you may not have it to lose.
I don't have any.
But I am gonna make that critical success count to remove a point of 2 hands stress, because the conservatory gates kind of push open by nervous-looking servants as you jog up to it, and then the carriage comes in, and they start drawing the gates closed. Before all of you are even all inside, they snap closed when the last of you is within, and you're behind the safety of the gates when this increasingly big crowd starts throwing rocks and yelling threats at you. The conservatory takes up an entire block of the city. It's a once grand stone edifice, columns and overgrown planters covered in climbing vines and stains. The gardens that surround it are all kind of weedy and diminished now. The entire thing is surrounded by a spiked iron fence, which is still intact, if old, kind of rusty. I think 1 or 2 of you have a little bit of lore. Well, I know one of you has a lot of lore, but anyway, those of you that have any lore skill know that the place is famous for teachers and great scholars that once studied here and taught here, and that the library even today still has important works. The carriage kind of rolls to a stop at a carriage house inside the property, just out of easy throwing range from the gates. And Khaled opens the door for Sabina. She kind of steps out, sort of melodramatically sighing, as if in exasperation and exhaustion. And the chief conservator of the city comes out. You probably don't know that until he, announces himself for your benefits. And but he's an ally of the Syndic and is Sabina's personal instructor. And he kind of gathers her up, and a couple of servants follow and says placating things like how much he's been looking forward to her next lessons and that kind of thing. And she tells him how horrible the drive was and how disgusting the city is, and the whole 9 yards. He just sort of nods along with her, very familiar with the routine. And your driver, meanwhile, is kind of keeping an eye on the gates, that big shouting crowd that keeps growing. And he says to Crab, he says, I ain't scared, sir, but I'm not sure I can get the rig out the gate through all that mess.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That does look like a lot. Is there another way out of here?
I don't know. I have no idea. Never been this bad.
Well, maybe we should look for another way out. What do y'all say? 2 hands? Sir?
I say we live here now. It's too hot to go outside. Let them have it.
I mean, can we just kill the peasants?
I don't think we can kill all of them. I think if we start killing them, they're gonna, I don't know, knock the gates down and kill us all.
So two hand kind of comes back and says, all right, let's get on the job here. I want 2 of you out here on patrol. The rest of you are 3 of you out here on patrol. The rest of you are coming in. Stand guard during the lesson. Come on.
Why don't we all patrol inside? There are windows. We can all patrol from inside where it's colder. All of us. Especially
You're on bodyguard then. Come on.
Oh,
I'll be outside.
Yeah, I'll be outside too.
All right.
I guess that means I'm going in. Come on, Maude. Yeah.
You each get one NPC who's been very unobtrusive this whole time.
Yay.
Joining you. Those of you on bodyguard detail learn kind of to your chagrin that these lessons are going to last 3 hours. Within you go into the worn corridors, and within, out of sight of the streets, there's a symposium, a big distinguished chamber where Sabina is the only student now. Quintus the sage is the only teacher, and he kind of leads her into instruction. She looks bored and deliberately clueless most of the time. All of the work on rhetoric and logic and government
Question.
is just the worst. Yeah, what's the question?
Given my high lore, can I just occasionally interrupt to correct the professor?
Well, can you and should you are two very different questions.
Right, I didn't ask the second one.
Well, let me put it this way. What does it sound like or look like when you interrupt the lessons?
Yeah, I think that they're just like moments where Princess will catch something and from the back of the classroom will like standing guard holding just a knife unpleasantly. I think that he'll just sort of interrupt with actually, Professor, that happened in May of the subsequent year. That was when there was a trade war with 3 neighboring countries, but I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah, give me a luck, which is a straight 50% chance.
Sure.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Maude?
Maude kicks him. Don't make it last longer. Don't make it last longer.
I rolled a 1.
Oh my God, critical success. Okay. Yeah, not only is Two Hand not there at the moment to read you the riot act, but the professor kind of stares at you in shock at first for the temerity, and then seems to take a lively interest in the point you're making, and says, well, you know, your companion over there makes a very good point, and starts folding it right into the lesson. And instead of causing grief, you've made things better.
Damn.
Maude still kicks you. Don't make it last longer.
Yeah, give me a group soldiering test, just the two of you.
My soldiering is the highest, so I will take this one as well.
Yeah,
my
that tracks.
soldiering is 70. Oh, I don't know if I like that.
So that's a
What?
fail and a point of stress then, I guess.
What did
Oh
we get?
no. 0.
Like 100?
Yeah.
Nothing but zeros on those dice?
Yeah. That's a critical failure, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh. Okay, so
yeah.
these dice go in the shame hole.
So first of all, get a point of stress for rolling that poorly. Or more to the point, for being way too conscious of what happens, because what happens is that you don't really realize that your 3 people are just sort of bunched up on one end of the symposium, more or less, instead of spread out watching the approaches that would need covering if you're actually trying to protect this girl. And until Two Hand comes in to check on things and very quietly kind of stampedes over to you and starts kind of hissing furious insults and instructions, moving you this way and that. So both of you gain a point of stress. That's another point of stress for
Oh no. Maybe I was co-teaching.
This is one of the rare moments. The aura that Maude has is very much like a puppy getting their ears pinned back. She fucked this one. She knows this is on her. She fucked it up.
Right. Those of you on patrol out along the perimeter walls.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the first hour, rioters are filling the street in front of the main gate, storming up and down, screaming, throwing debris over the walls, over the places in the walls where you can see through, especially because it's just the what do you call it? Fencing.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd is growing.
God damn it! What the fuck? Why can't they just get goddamn jobs? Let's just spend all day out here.
Yeah, give me a luck roll. Dugal, you roll it.
All right.
Doesn't matter who, but Dugal, you roll.
13.
Yeah. So you don't have any major incidents in that first hour or so,
Okay.
but you do need your own group soldiering test to see how well you three.
This is me, Krabs, and our NPC.
Yeah.
Well, Krabs, you want it or you want me to have it? We're both pretty good at this.
Yeah, the NPC doesn't count for this. We
Nope.
don't have to worry
I
about
don't know.
Okay.
They don't.
I'll take it. I'll take it this time.
Okay. If it's usually you, then there's no risk of stress unless you critically fail.
I mean, I'm 70 versus his 80, so yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
we're in
just-
pretty good
yeah.
shape.
I got a 47 under 70, so yeah.
Success. Okay. Yeah. You guys make sure you divide yourselves up efficiently. You're keeping eyes on the most portions of the fence and walls most of the time.
Making sure to look alert to the people who might try to catch us with off guard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Exactly.
got that crossbow out, and everyone. It's just like I can't get all of you with the crossbow, but the first one's definitely going to
That's
get
right.
it. So
Get the first one
Yeah.
over the wall.
yeah, who wants to be a
Yeah.
hero? Yeah,
Yeah. And at one point, Two Hand comes out just like looking furious and ready to just eat somebody for breakfast, and then looks around and can't find anything to bitch about with you guys, and kind of shakes his head and said, God, at least somebody's trying to do their job, and then storms off again. Ross, give me a luck roll.
26.
That's a success. Okay. The next hour goes by and there's no major events. I mean, the crowds are still gathering. It's ugly out there. It's violent out there, but you're in a good place right now. And Maude, give me a luck roll.
All right, new dice. New dice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these also go to the shame pit. 89.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maude has forgotten what she is supposed to be doing, is instead got some string out of her pocket and is trying to show Princess how to do like a Jacob's ladder, like those string games that kids play.
You
So
hear a
that you
scream,
you take it from
like
me.
a really nasty scream from outside the conservatory, but inside the compound. What do you do?
Probably what she does is just say fuck. She's like, watch out for the kid. She takes the string, shoves it at Princess, and she's gonna go check it. She shoves both of the NPC and Princess, and she's like, gotta go check. You keep an eye on the kid. And she goes to run face first into whatever it is.
okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget to write.
What you run face first into is one of the scholars that works here, terrified, stumbling down the corridor, and he kind of bumps into you and then backs up in horror, and says, "Oh, it's you! Oh God! Oh, it's one of you! I heard something strange. Saw something out there. I thought it was a woman's voice in the garden. I didn't know the language, so I went to see. But then I saw something in the shadows. So something big. Oh
Yeah, no. Was it a guy? Because I'm here with a big fucking guy.
no! It was something huge and black. I don't know what.
You're still not convincing me it's not the guy I came here with.
It wasn't a man.
All right.
I'm telling you.
No, was it? So was it a thing? Like a tree, a monster, a
I
bear?
I don't
Was it a
know.
bear?
I
Shit,
don't
was
know.
it a bear?
I turned. I left. I didn't want any part of it. I left. I don't know. He's kind of trying to, remember to breathe.
I, grab the scholar by his shoulder and, push him
What?
down the hallway. Just go. I will go tell somebody there's a monster or a bear, whatever the fuck it is. I'm going to go look at this.
Okay. So are you dragging him back the way he came or pushing him to go elsewhere?
I'm pushing him away from the way he came, sort of. I don't want to tell him to go hang out with my charge.
Right.
Because
You're not dragging him along with you. You're sort of...
No, I'm pushing him to keep going, dude.
Yeah, of course. He scuttles off. Just
Great. So smart. Smart as I am pretty. What is it? We are looking for the thing.
Yeah, you kind of creep out to where he was talking about.
Where are no wormies? Where are no wormies? Where are no wormies? Where are no wormies?
Overgrown patch of garden. And you don't see anything there. I mean, there's, shadows are kind of gathering, so you take a second to sort of stand still, and make sure you're seeing properly. And, you can see the walls back there. You can see the corner. You don't see anything lurking.
Cool, not my problem. Gotta go. That is enough for me. I don't know if it's weird. I don't know what it is. It's also still hot.
Yeah, that's true. About a half hour after that, Two-Hand, the lessons are almost up. Two-Hand gathers everybody up just outside the symposium. Says, look, I want a planning session. But that by itself, by the way, is really weird. I mean, usually it's just orders come raining down and you follow them. I mean, or you don't, but either way, people don't ask for your opinions about them. He's clearly kind of getting to the end of his rope, but he says, all right, listen, we've got to figure things out here. That crowd is getting worse and worse. I climbed up to get a look, and things are bad all over the city. I don't know what set it off. It wasn't just us, but who knows how these things get set off. Anyway, we need to figure out, first of all, which direction are we heading? Right? I asked because if we go straight back to the Bastion, that's 4 miles. At this point, that's 4 miles through a riot. I mean, we could instead go to the Rubbish Gate to the south. That's half that distance, maybe 2 miles. And we know that we've got a section there that we can join up with until this thing calms down a little. What do you think? What do you think? I need input here.
Hey, here. We have a fortified position with supplies, bait, and bodies. Somebody's going to come along and rescue us. Eventually, when the city cools down or burns down, there's no need to leave. I am happy as a pig in slop.
We can't.
Kind of thinking the same, sir. Why not?
Why not?
Fucking politics is why not.
Well, then they can come make me leave. They can walk their ass through the city and make me leave.
But these assholes are going to make the syndic sorry, and the syndic is going to make the captain sorry, and the captain is going to tell the lieutenant to shit on all of us over it.
That's not my kink.
Look, sir, I know that this is hard. I'm telling you, I know what it's like to be afraid I'm about to die. I would rather have my ass beat every day for a week than walk out those doors. You know why they call it the sin dick? Because he's a dick. It's fine.
Well,
listen, we've got to leave. The other thing we got to talk about is which exit do we use? But I need 2 plans here. First plan is what's our destination going to be? The second plan is which exit do we get out through?
Well, sir, if we're dedicated to leaving, I say we make the rendezvous the closest place, because I just don't think we're going to be making it the long way back to the place. I think
I agree with that.
It's a gate, right? So what? We can we just leave this? We can leave the city, right?
No.
No, we get up to the gate, rendezvous with the C company, C
Well, I don't think we don't go.
Third platoon?
We don't leave through the way we came. I think that's too risky. Too many people.
Yeah, that's
saw
true.
No, what I'm saying, C platoon
Yeah.
is at a gate, right? The trash gate,
The rubbish.
the rubbish gate.
It's
Look.
the one of the main city gates. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
people have been calling me trash for most of my life. I can go out that gate if we gotta. There are 30 men there. If it's us, would make what, a total grouping of maybe 40 and a fat kid against a riot. I say we rendezvous with them. If they're still alive, we all haul ass out, find somewhere in the country and lay low.
See what
We
things look like when we get
could.
to the gate.
He does his best to pretend you didn't say any of that because it's just going to stress him out even more.
Love you, buddy.
We see what things look like when we get to the gate and rendezvous, but yeah, we don't make any decisions till we get there. But we have to go out we have to go to a different direction than where we came. Like,
Right. So the other way out, one of these scholars says that on the north side of the conservatory, there's this thing called the Rusted Stair, which is this old gate that nobody ever uses anymore.
Why not?
It just leads out into the little streets and shit up against Trajan's wall. You know, there's nothing there. I mean, it was just sort of I don't know, servants entrance or something like that back in the day.
All right, so just
Question.
to check, when you say rusted, is that artistic or literal? Because if it's not going to carry my weight.
I don't know. We can go look. You want to go look? Let's go look.
yeah, let's go scope it. Question, suggestion, sir. What if we left the carriage here and maybe the rioters would think we hadn't left? Is there any way we can sneak out of this?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, as long as they haven't gathered up outside this other gate, then
Are we taking the kid with us or can she stay here?
She has to come with us.
I literally laugh at that.
The
yeah.
whole point is to protect her.
Because if
Yeah.
she can stay here, she'll probably be better for her to stay here. But
No,
if
she is
can't,
not.
Yeah.
She can't stay here. That's the goddamn job. That's what the fucking rioters are here for. It's for her
Right.
ass.
Right,
Yeah.
but
We
she
leave
hasn't
her
finished
here
her
and
grammar
leave.
lessons.
Well, let's get her fucking moving.
Okay, well, first of all, get one of those-
Let's scout the rubbish gate first, and make sure it's viable as an escape path.
and get one of those stupid scholars to get her a pair of pants because she's not going to be running through the filth city in her pretty ass dress. That thing's dead.
Crab just goes to the rubbish gate. He just starts going
so
to scout it out.
Yeah, so the gate
rusted
leading
gate.
out of the conservatory is the Rusted Stair.
Yeah.
And it's this small, person size, not vehicle size or horse size gate that is iron, almost rusted shut. It opens out of the wall into a warren of narrow lanes and alleys that seem empty, except for dogs nosing around in the garbage and the occasional, person curled up in a nook in the alley trying to sleep and avoid attention here and there. A block away to the south, on the other side of the conservatory, it's a riot. Right here, it seems quiet.
Yeah, I like this option.
It's like the gate's rusted shut, but does it seem like fairly stable? Like, does it have like the big corroded holes in it, or does it? Wait, no. So it's just a gate that opens, right?
Yeah,
So I was thinking it was like a bridge. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, it's just the gate, and yeah, I mean it looks like it'll function. I mean, it might be squeaky, but it's not deteriorated.
So we're gonna jump over it. We can jump over that. I'll jump over that.
Yeah, it'll open. I just need to find someone with a key.
I got a key right here. It's called poleaxe.
I also could maybe do something about opening it. That shouldn't be an issue because I have the spell animation, and I could probably use that to just undo the lock.
All right. Well, let's one thing at a time. All right, come on. two of you stay here, keep an eye on things. The rest of us, we're going to gather everything up, gather up our ward, and
You gonna get her some pants?
key to this thing, and let's go. Yeah, find her. Yeah, find her some pants. You're allegedly a woman. Go find her some pants. Find whatever you need.
Allegedly, no one's proven anything by law. Maude does go off though to menace some of the scholars in their robes to try and see if they have any pants.
Yeah, yeah. You can. You know what? Make an influence roll.
Oh God, no.
I mean, just bully a nerd into giving up his clothes. It's easy.
Yeah, Maude's influence is 30.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think I should get a little thing because I did go and check on the monster for that one guy, and I see him and I'm like, you, give me your pants.
Yeah. All right. Do you have one of those flaws that makes you horrible at influence rolls?
So I actually switched from being incredibly ugly to smartass, but I could have both.
Well, take your pick. Stick with just one flaw. But
I switched to smartass, and I'm gonna have to live with my choices. So I have smartass, and so that does not negatively impact influence. That just makes me talk shit.
Roll it, gain advantage, and this isn't to see if you get something, but the quality of what you manage to scrounge with the time you have.
I need your pants. I roll a 75.
Okay, that's your best of two rolls.
All right. I guess second roll a 71.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he does his best to help, and his best is really bad. But sure, he supplies you with a set of his trousers that are going to be too tall for her and not really fit very well, but maybe better than her, mother's finest silk dresses.
Kid, we're leaving. If you want that dress to live another day, you're taking it off. If you want to live another day, you're definitely taking it off.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, we can't stay here for lots of reasons, and we can't leave you here because you'll probably die, so we got to go. The way we're going, you can't wear a dress, and we can't have a carriage, so you're going to put on these pants, and we're going to go.
Wait, what's about my carriage?
Oh, yeah, it can't come with us. It's too big, and those horses are probably going to be dead by the end of the day. Not by me, unfortunately.
You are making no sense whatsoever.
That's okay. I'm a lot bigger than you are. Come on.
All
Just
right.
yanking her along.
Yeah, make a. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see what your options are. I have a thing for this. Yeah. Roll power if you want to just scare her into cooperating, or influence to calm her down and get her confident and going along with you willingly.
Sadly, it's going to... Oh, wait. My power is 30, and my influence is also 30.
Mm-hmm. I
am the worst thing that has ever existed. I regret none of my choices. I'll try power. Like, come on, just gonna strip her and redress her like a toddler.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got a 26 under 30.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so one more bit of characterization here. How is it that you spook her into being genuinely afraid enough that she goes really quiet and cooperative?
If you don't take off the dress, I'm going to make you eat it. One way or another, that dress is going to be gone. I'm either going to shove it down your throat or you can fold it up nicely on the chair. I really don't care which.
Yeah, I mean, she sort of, that seems to get her attention enough that she kind of nods and shakily cooperates, changes her outfit out.
Silk is made from worms, totally edible. Let's go.
Doesn't say anything else. She does, however, get a point of Sabina stress.
Sorry.
So back to the Rusted Gate. One of the servants has a giant key ring, giant rings, and manages to work the gate open and let you out into the alleys.
I am so sorry, but I do have to say, as he's like working the gate, Maude Camp will be like, yeah, that's right. Working with the oil.
Yeah, he kind of turns and stares back at you, and I don't know, maybe not really horror as much as just gives you kind of an appalled look and then shakes his head.
Maude does like the chin clip, like,
just about
yeah.
And,
You know what I mean. You know what it's about.
No, he does now. All right. So you head out into the city.
All right, I'll take point if we're navigating.
Yeah. So in the Discord chat, I believe you should find maybe it's pinned, but there should be a map of the city.
Ooh.
Is it pinned? I don't know if it's pinned.
The only things I see pinned is
You'd have to you'd have to scroll up a bunch. Let me scroll up and then
I see.
somebody else do the scrolling. I'm busy.
Yeah, I see it.
I reposted it at the bottom. Yeah.
Good job, Ross. There's toward the northeast side, there's a little mark where the conservatory is.
Oh yeah.
So you kind of emerge north of that, and then you're going to have to make your way south across the big avenue. Assuming you can find a part of it that's less full of awfulness than most of it. And then actually I put the conservatory on the wrong side of that damn street. Anyway, and then presumably kind of south along side streets, through the Poets District. Eventually you'll be following the avenue of the older empire southeast until it reaches the rubbish gate.
I've got a terrible idea. So, that the people are saying some kind of ancient evil got unleashed at the Necropolitan Hill. That might be the mobs might well be avoiding that section.
I hate that you're right.
If we run into some trouble, I'm not saying we just go there, but I think if we run into some trouble, we might want to read through there if it's a question of having to fight a giant ass mob and probably not running into an ancient evil that may or may not have been unleashed. What do you think?
I think that what Maude?
I think if we run into the mob, we can go right to the necro whatever,
That's what I'm talking about.
Right, and then if there's nothing there, great, we can cool off, and if there's something there, we can feed the mob to it, and that's what I call a win-win.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that narratively we're going to get pushed over to Necropolitan Hill no matter what we do.
You always think that your life is cursed, but really it's just random chance.
Krabs is just happy to be here.
Sometimes it feels like someone is telling a very dramatic story about what's going to happen to you.
But yeah, let's cut through the Poets District and hope that the Avenue of the Older Empire is clear, and when it's not, end up near the undead.
Sure would be nice if things were clear.
Players, which of you has access to a deck of cards or a website with a digital deck of cards?
Ooh, I can go get one real quick.
I can too, but I will let you do it if you are more prepared.
Yeah, that's fine. You set out through the city, through the alleys. You have to kind of, eventually you head east a bit and find a part of the Avenue of the Morning that's relatively quiet.
A deck of cards has...
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
You cross over the avenue. There are people going up and down and kind of yelling to each other at the distance, but it's not concentrated. And then you're moving south again. At this point, you're following the minor streets that run through the Poets District. And draw a card.
I got the 10 of spades.
If I was going to say if it's a joker, then discard it and draw it. So it's about 30, 40 minutes, of following these streets, keeping an eye out, sending somebody ahead to scout an intersection before you get to it, taking some turns and trying not to take so many turns at a time that you get lost entirely before when you're coming out of this alley, and on the street behind you there was a crowd gathering. They weren't paying attention to you in particular, except in as much as you're all wearing the black of the Black Company, and that usually garners attention. And in most groups, some kind of resentment. But you come out of the alley, and there's a sudden crashing noise as the building at the corner that you're at collapses. And, you realize that the reason that the present scent of smoke was so intense here is because this place must have been on fire deep inside it until it just suddenly collapsed in a great gout of sparks and fire. And there being, let's see. Yeah, there's 4 of you. Ross, roll a 4-sided die.
Mm-hmm.
Count down from the top of the players list and tell me who you rolled.
I rolled a 1, and I'm at top of the list.
Yeah, good job. Make an agility test.
Cool. And I believe I have disadvantage on this because I'm wearing reinforced armor. Am I not?
Check your sheet. It should be on there.
Yeah. Yeah, reinforced disadvantage with agility. So cool. Well, that failed. And just to be thorough, that also failed. That failed twice. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So you get caught up in the collapse. Like there's this tumble of flaming debris scatters at you before you can recoil away from it. It would hit you with staggered damage. What was your highest roll? What were the dice?
82.
Okay, so the 2 is going to be hit location, right? So a 2 is one of your legs. And so you kind of start to recoil away belatedly and stumble and hit the ground over this burning debris. It would inflict staggered damage to you, but since you do have that armor on, that protects you from 1 step of damage. That reduces the staggered to nothing, which means the armor keeps you from getting crunched or scorched enough that you can, crawl and scuttle out of there to safety. And as the group of you, you kind of come out, recoil away from that building, you hear screams coming from inside that building. And you see out on the street, there's a crowd that's gathered and are laughing, of all things, because the front doors and the windows have all been boarded up and nailed over to keep people from coming out. On the upper floors that are still intact, you see a woman kind of leaning out, desperate, kind of screaming for help. She has a child in her hands who's also sort of screaming and wide-eyed and looks down at the crowd and just beseechingly. And for whatever reason, they're on the opposite side of something because a few of them start throwing shit up at her. And Sabina sort of stares at this whole spectacle just in shock. And Two Hand looks like he's kind of grimly steeling himself to just move the hell on.
What would it take to rescue these people?
Yeah, so you could try to use strength to get over there and makeshift a pry bar, pull the boards and bars off quickly enough to get some people out of there, or you could roll agility to start climbing.
Well, strength is definitely my strong suit, so I'm going to try that.
Okay. Yeah.
No hesitation.
Yeah. Good deal. So Two Hand, he doesn't interfere. Once you move out, he sort of looks at everybody else and says, "Keep your eyes open and keep her in the middle."
56. That's a success on strength.
Okay. Yeah. You pull one of the barricades off, and a bunch of half-choked victims start scrambling out, coughing and burned, and You manage to save 10 of them by the time the place falls in and collapses.
Does that include the woman and her child?
Give me a luck roll.
Ugh.
Maude actually, though, does reach out to her young ward and just puts her hand over the kid's eyes, pulling her gently back. It's like it's best not to watch.
56, that's a failure on luck.
Yeah. You saved the kid. Somebody else is holding her. You don't see the mother before the place just falls in.
Well.
Did you have any stress, though?
Did I have any stress?
Man,
Where is stress? Where is stress marked? Stress is.
It's on the sheet on the left side. If you left
condition.
middle, it's a tracker.
Oh, stress. No, I did not have any stress.
Okay. Once you come out, once the place crashes in, you've got some of the crowd kind of jeering at you, but when the place crashes in, it's clear you're not going to do any other help. A two-hand kind of, puts his hand on your shoulder. It's just, come on.
All
you
right.
did good, but let's go.
Yeah, I just give him a nod and we move back on.
I'm going to come back here tomorrow, and if a single one of these people is still here, I'm going to beat their ass.
I'll be with you. If we're off tomorrow, that sounds like a fun thing to do.
I'll be there too. Like, we're going to get some boiling water, and we're going to show them what it feels like to be a frog.
All right. A short time later, are you deliberately heading toward Necropolitan Hill, or
only if it feels like that's the direction that is safer than the crowds?
Well, away from the riot, right?
Yeah.
So, is the air on Necropolitan Hill, is it actually a little cooler? Because a lot of times, like, grave areas will be a little cooler.
I mean, it is
so
kind of because it is.
There's a bit of a.
Yeah, it's tall.
There's a bit of a corpse breeze coming out of that area that's like blowing away some of the detritus. I think that we would sort of end up leaning that way.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, Necropolitan Hill is, even though, is the highest point of the city, other than the Bastion and the Paper Tower, out at the far end of the peninsula. It's steep. It kind of rises. There's like a road that kind of runs a spiral around it, rising. The whole hill is occupied by above ground tombs and mausoleums, and a lot of it by just little nooks where people can put urns for those that can't afford an actual burial entombment chamber. There are very few, there are no people here. It's strikingly empty compared to the rest of the city. I mean, in fact, it's creepy. Obviously, it's a place of nothing but dead people. And it's a place where all these rumors are going around that the Forvalaka, whatever they were, I mean, legend says they had conquered, only a handful of them conquered and ruled this whole city for decades, a long, long time ago, and then were buried here, but were immortal, gods or something, and they were buried here, but aren't anymore.
I guess they weren't immortal if they were buried here.
Yeah. Give me a group discipline test.
Group discipline.
Ooh.
Oh, we're all pretty good at that. And I'm the worst.
I think I'm going to close the thing.
Yeah, it's either going to have to be.
What's on the line here is stress, for just tension and fear gathering.
No one else wants to jump on it? All right, I'll roll. Right. 36. Yeah, make it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you all kind of keep your nerve. It's getting dark. It's not full on night yet. When it's full on night, it's going to be a lot worse here. At least, morale wise.
I gotta be honest, dead people don't bother me. Some of my best friends were dead for years.
Oh, I talk to the occasional corpse. It's fine.
They don't usually talk back. Unless you eat the weird mushrooms. Talk your ear off.
Oh, is that how you do it?
How do you do it?
I just sort of waggle my hands and say the right incantations, and then I talk to the dead.
People have all the fucking luck.
How long are you there? I mean, is this like you're going there and pausing for a rest for a while, or are you just sort of taking this roundabout way because it's?
I mean,
like,
I think
grief.
probably best to sort of slither, like keep walking, but maybe slow a little bit and slither along the edges, so that way you can't be like caught in the center of it, if that makes sense. Like I'm imagining like a graveyard.
Is anybody damaged or highly stressed and actually needs a break?
I have 2 stress.
I have 1 stress. And it does make sense to me that we might chill a little bit because there are no people here, as long as we don't linger too long.
Yeah. Krabs, did you take damage when that thing fell on you? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just briefly on fire, but the leather armor was pretty good. And now I just smell like burnt leather, which is better than crabs.
Yeah, boiling crabs.
No, he deep fries them.
Yeah.
Right.
I can grill them too. There's actually a lot of ways to make crab.
All right.
We probably have to top a squat for the kid, though.
Yeah, okay. You eventually, as it's getting onto actual nightfall, come to the other side, to the far side of the hill, and start heading back into the streets towards the gate, the rubbish gate. And
Okay, geez, draw cards. Is this going to be such a thing? 4 spades.
All right. So you come to the avenue of the older empires at last. It's called that because along most of it, of this long, wide avenue, there are countless statues and monuments built by and for emperors from the old imperial days, centuries ago, before Malacca came. Great statues of emperors looking exalted, or of their favorite gladiators, their favorite lovers of either sex. It's just, one after another monument to personal ego and glory. And for whatever reason, they're mostly intact. For all of the riots and unrest of this city, people seem to leave these things alone.
Well, they don't represent any of the current political problems, so
that might be. Yeah,
attract ire.
I do want to say, as we leave, the grave, just Maude makes an obscene gesture and says, "Stuck it, dead people." And then as they walk into, the huge edifices to times past, be like, more dead people. I can suck it too.
You get across the Avenue of the Older Empire. And along the way, actually, give me a group soldiering test. Because as you come to the Avenue of the Older Empire, you're starting to kind of move along and across, and then one of these big crowds comes out of nowhere, it seems, and starts paying attention to you, and starts getting angry because you represent the hated syndic.
I sort of feel like the syndic should change some policies.
Syndic, that being such a syndic.
Yeah, give me a group soldiering test to see how well you keep your formation, keep your pace up, keep your security up.
I just want to point out that I ate it really hard last time on soldiering, so it'd be lovely if somebody else would fall on that sword.
Well, I still don't have any stress, so probably afford to bomb one of these, even if I fail. If that's all right with everybody.
Yeah, go for it,
man.
17 success.
Yeah. Okay. You kind of, even as it gets really weird, really chaotic, and kind of nerve-wracking, you manage to keep it together, move as a single tight unit through the chaos and keep the angriest of the people at bay.
Just got to keep them from throwing themselves on our weapons.
I say in a voice low enough that hopefully the kid doesn't hear it. Little do these people know, I also think the Syndic can go fuck himself. That is also why I'm out here, ironically enough.
It's night. It's full on night. The city's lit here and there by fires that have been set randomly, but almost everywhere you go. And you come to this kind of shadowed courtyard where there's a number of bloody banners that have been propped up over an ancient old stone idol that's scattered with offerings of coins and knives. There's a dozen well-armed blues arrayed around the idol, kind of singing this low chanting prayer.
We found something that's definitely not my problem.
Yeah, give me a group alertness test with advantage.
This
Alertness, doorstop.
be Mary, unless you want me to take it again.
Please don't make me do.
Yeah.
45. Easy. Under 80.
Yeah, you recognize two of the crossbows as having been stolen from the Black Company.
Ooh.
4 of them have crossbows in all, and the others have spiked pole axes. The idol that they're at it looks like there's sort of flickering candles around it. It looks like a sort of a humanoid idol with a cat's head in a really old style that hasn't been prominent. I mean, you haven't seen it elsewhere in the city. In fact, having seen all this, make a group stealth test.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Are those crossbows, is the implication that they have stolen it out of our warehouse, or is the implication they have killed some of our men and taken it from them this night?
It could have been either one. I mean, occasionally you have brethren that get killed in the riots.
But this isn't saying that, like, the people we're trying to meet up with are definitely dead and this is their stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but,
Okay.
Probably not.
I have 30 for stealth. Princess has 70. Beautiful DM. Would you be willing to roll for our princess while she is...
Oh, no, I'm here.
Oh, thank God you're back.
Yeah, I came back.
Please, God, save us.
Yeah, I'll take that. I will roll stealth.
All right.
I rolled a 72. Oh, wait, this had advantage? Or no, that was the alertness. So, nope, I just failed this. A 72 over 70.
Yeah. So were you trying to sneak past and avoid notice, or were you trying to creep around and ambush these guys?
I assumed we were ambushing, but also I think Princess is really in the mood for murder.
So we were ambushing.
Okay, who's going to stay with the kid, though? She can't ambush.
Well, let's just
She
have
barely has a bush.
Let's have
Well, that's what the NPCs are for.
A quick show of virtual hands here, right? We'll decide it democratically as players, even though that's not how the characters work. We have I think 2 for attack. I know 1 definitely for attacking. Crab, what's your vote? Attacker.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's attack.
Okay, that's 2. Dugal.
It seems like the best way out is through. So yeah, attack.
Okay, so I mean that's clearly a majority. So creeping up it was when their song ends, and
Just to say, I have put the kid with crabs.
What?
Okay.
Because somebody has to watch out for the kid, and crabs, you have the worst hand-to-hand combat of all of us.
We got 2 NPCs. And
Well, I do have a crossbow.
Do we still have the
I guess
NPCs with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
then
you
they
guys
can take it. Sorry.
You guys are
Yeah.
hissing that argument back when they were singing, and then their singing stopped to just suddenly enough that you were in mid hiss, and one of them turns and sees your group and kind of gives a low sort of whistle signal, and the others turn in surprise and grab up weapons.
And those are our crossbows, asshole.
Yeah, one of the guy that saw you kind of says, "You want it back?"
I shoot him with a crossbow. My crossbow.
Right on. All right. Combat rules it is.
Yes. One quick question while we're thinking about this. About how close together are they?
Pretty close. I mean, they were sort of all gathered around this idol, right? There's a dozen of them. So, I don't know. They're probably each within a yard of each other, right?
Okay.
Something like that. I mean, so there's not like 12 yards across because they're not all in a line. But
yeah,
I don't know. Fairly well spread out. Okay. In combat. When combat begins, for very first round, you need a group soldiering test for your side to seize the initiative and take action first.
Okay, I can take this one. 65 success.
Okay. So what that means is soldiers, your characters, all act in random order. So Ross, roll that D4 again and pick out who goes first.
Okay.
Then your allies, NPCs, whatever there are of them, act. And then the enemies act finally at the end of the round.
Well, that is a 2, so that would be Doorstop.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna countermand the rules a little bit here because Crab very clearly.
Yeah.
Crab had shit he wanted to start.
So let's do that, and then Doorstop goes next. Okay. So Crab, you don't have them surprised, unfortunately.
Right.
So you can make a shooting roll to let one of them have it.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I rolled a 65 under 70 for my shooting test. So
okay. So the one side is a 5. That means I think an arm. Your crossbow is piercing. So first of all, what's the standard damage for the crossbow?
That is a good question. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Shooting weapons. Maimed.
Okay. These guys are not heavy hitters like Black Company. So if you have a piercing weapon, their armor doesn't help, and you add a level of damage, which kicks that up to dying. So you shoot the crossbow bolt. It doesn't plug him center mass, but it tears right into his arm, and there's just a gout of blood from the artery, and he kind of lets out this wide-eyed gasp and looks down at it and starts collapsing because his damage got knocked up to dying, which is bad news. That's one. Dugal?
Great. So we have what? You shot one of the guys with the crossbow, right? Does anybody look more armored?
And not really. I mean, they all all have sort of light armor.
Great. Then I'm going to engage one of the other guys with the.
Yeah. Okay. And, you can run up and attack with your poleaxe.
Okay, poleaxe time. That is 56 hit.
Okay, so 6 is also an arm, and poleaxe is also piercing. So what is the baseline damage on the poleaxe?
The baseline is maimed. The head damage is dying. Piercing ignores armor.
Maimed, which again, it's leveled up one because of piercing and them being kind of vulnerable compared to you, up to dying, and you just like stab right into this guy, and he lets out a shriek and goes down. Who's next? Roll a die. If it's 1 through, if it's a 1 or a 2, it's the first in line. 3 or 4 is the next.
Is Ross rolling the die or?
Yeah.
Okay. A 4.
Okay.
Princess.
List.
Yeah. Princess?
I would like to maybe combine two spells. I would like to combine Affliction and Blast to make someone just erupt into extremely painful boils.
Okay. All right. So the way
You're going to say
combine,
they'd shit themselves, but I'll take that.
sure. So just as a recap, the way combining works is you can cast both spells, but it takes an augmentation
Yes.
on to combine the effects, right? And then each of them has its baseline effect, right? And then further augmentations can augment either or both of those spells. Okay. So,
Yes.
So what's the casting time on each of those?
Each of them is 1 round for no magnitude for a 1-person target.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you can do that. So you got 1 augmentation to combine them, or are you augmenting any other ways?
I'm really tempted to make it a 1-yard radius.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to do that. Yeah, I want to be real nasty.
Yeah. That'll. That would catch a couple of them, certainly. Okay. So how are you fueling this augmentation? Which steps are you taking?
Yeah, so I assume I use the words and gestures regardless because I'm not trying to be subtle.
Right.
And then if I look at how I want to augment this, let's see. Ritual object that symbolizes the spell effects or the target. I keep a bag of human teeth hanging around my neck.
Uh-huh.
Could I maybe use that as a focus?
Yeah, sure. As arcane ingredients, yeah, that'll count for 1.
Cool.
And then on your spell worksheet, there's a space where you can check a mark saying you've used your arcane ingredients for that spell. And then later, when you want to use the spell again, if you haven't proactively replenished those ingredients, you have to make a luck roll or something to see if you or you have enough for 1 use basically, and to replenish them, it needs a luck or survival roll or something to find what you need.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's 1, and then the other one is what, exerting yourself with the risk of stress, or did you have
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm going to risk some stress.
Okay, give it a roll.
I would love to. This is so exciting. I love this magic system.
Awesome.
I rolled a 70 on a 70.
Oh, nice. Okay, your spell doesn't get away from you. It takes effect. And what happens to you know what? Just give me a straight up luck roll.
Sure. Happily. I rolled a 49.
Yeah, okay. So what happens to the 3 of these idiots that were within your radius of your sudden curse?
Yeah, so I chant an incantation and move my hands into like invisible sigils, and just a blast goes forward and like explodes around them, and they all just erupt into these horrific boils that are like oozing and weeping all over their bodies, and they just begin screaming as the first spell, Affliction, causes them to become ill for the time, but also it does damage because it's a blast, so it's just like eating away at their skin.
Okay, right. Yeah, the blast spell, the baseline damage is what's daggered to the torso. Yeah, okay.
Yes, stagger damage to the torso.
Okay. So so their armor, does their armor help them with this? If an attack, so the fact that they're wearing armor provides some help against this horribleness, but it doesn't keep them from getting all sick and unable to take any combat actions or speak or move it faster than a staggering crawl until the spells lift eventually. So that's 3 of them just out of commission.
Nice.
Heck yeah. That's so horrible. I love it.
Yeah. And then last, Mary Maude, what are you doing?
Maude, after seeing the gentleman explode into, oozing boils, just says, "Get good, it's not that bad." Her horrifying pockmarked visage looms. get good. She takes her, her club and shield, and she's just gonna wade into him with her 80, and she's just gonna catch someone right across the ear and just go for a skull shatter shot, if I can.
Yeah, totally. So let me give you a couple of attack options here, which you may or may not want to use. But let's see. Attack variance. You can choose hit location. What you do with that is risk a point of stress on the attack and add disadvantage to the roll. But if you succeed, you either choose where you hit them or ignore their armor wherever you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
You can do careful defense, which does no damage, but it makes it less likely that you get hurt. Or a careless offense, where you risk a point of stress and add advantage. So you could, for instance, combine careless offense, just going in like crazy, risking stress and getting advantage, and a called shot, which risks stress and adds disadvantage. So those would level out. And if you succeed, you choose where you hit, or you ignore their armor, either one. But if you fail, you take 2 stress because you went both balls out and trying to be fancy about it at the same time. Or you can just go up and attack.
I think I'm just going to go up and attack because I have 2 stress and don't want to risk getting more, but also like my nat power is 80, so pretty good odds that I'm going to beat the ever-loving snot out of somebody. So I'm just going to rear back and just go for it.
Yeah, make a hand weapons roll.
Come on. Oh, and it's with my giant club.
Okay.
70 out of 80.
Okay, that's a success. So a 10, I think, in fact, hits him right in the brain. And what is on the club, what damage does it do when you hit somebody in the head? Later roll your appropriate.
Club is maimed.
Okay, so these guys they do have armor. So he has a hard leather helmet on. But not after you slam your stick into it. And instead of maimed, he gets wounded and kind of staggers back, losing his next action and all but collapsing up against that wall, kind of scattering their offerings of coins and candles and things. Okay, so that is, I think, 2 of them dying, 3 out of combat for a while because of magic, and 1 who's been wounded and stunned, which means even though you are outnumbered with 12 of these guys, that's half of them, I think, almost half of the commission.
Where's your weird cat god statue thing now, huh?
So give me a... You know what? Never mind. Ordinarily, if they lose a third of their people, or if they lose somebody to sorcery, then you make a luck roll. And if you succeed, their morale breaks and they just bolt. In this case, you would add advantage to that roll because these guys are pretty well equipped, but they're a little shaky. But combining like half of them going down and sorcery and they're shaky, just fuck them. The ones who aren't dead,
they're not hanging in there.
Use their action in combat to get the fuck out.
What did we learn, huh?
yeah. They
don't forget to leave those crossbows behind.
Drop the crossbows, assholes.
I mean, the dead guys are definitely.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna collect some human teeth from the corpse. By the way.
Ross, roll me a luck roll.
All right. 34. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You rescue both wayward Black Company crossbows.
Nice.
Maude actually, ominously enough, helps you collect the human teeth and appears incredibly proficient at it.
All right. Yeah, so Princess, give me a luck roll to see if you gather enough of them still intact and not consumed by the energies of sorcery that they'll serve as our It's in another casting.
I rolled 32.
Yeah. All right. Well done. So you can uncheck that
Sweet.
on that spell. So so
I apologize. Can I ask something?
yeah, totally.
So I have craft,
Mm-hmm.
and like part of, if I'm understanding this right, like I can make really good trinkets, can't I? For magic stuff? Yeah, create a magic item. You can create a magic item by anchoring a spell. First, you are an assistant who knows the spell must succeed a craft test.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. When like if Princess was wanting to magic something up, they could.
Yeah, I
They
could.
could get you to. Yeah.
Like, I don't. Is that something we can do? Am I understanding it right? Because that way, Princess could have like a little bit more of a fancy shebang here.
Yeah. So So in the rules for creating a magic item, right? You've got to succeed at a craft test to build the item or the anchor, right, from scratch, and then the sorcerer does the magic stuff on it. So basically, that's something that takes some time and effort.
And right, not the moment
here, right? But you could absolutely cooperate on something like that as a project at some point.
No. I would just I'm like, I can really help you with those teeth. Like, there's a lot of people don't know about human teeth, and I've had some years of experience.
Yeah, and you're very dexterous. Yes, let's do that as like a team building exercise or something.
We should get other people in on it. They'll love it. It'll be like a crowd thing.
Oh, we'll do like crafts, arts and crafts. We'll get glitter glue.
Yeah.
So it's another half hour or so. You're almost certain you're coming to you're going to be coming to the gate. I mean, you're off of the avenue of the Old Empire. Again, you're kind of cutting, shortcuts, and you've got to be near. But it's late. There are fires. There are crowds that have gone from riotous to murderous, smashing, looting. And in this not a courtyard, like a sort of a plaza. Not even a plaza. That's way too fancy. I don't know what the word is for a really shitty plaza between a bunch of shacks, but it's one of those. And and then there's this roar, this unholy roar that splits through the shouting. From this half-collapsed roof, something big leaps into a crowd, and shrieks erupt. I mean, the worst shrieks any of you even have ever heard. Everybody individually give me discipline tests with disadvantage.
Ooh.
I'm so
100.
sorry. Remind me of disadvantage.
That just
Roll
means
twice, take the worst.
Yeah, roll twice. Keep whichever's worst.
Okay.
Well, my worst is
65 under 70.
With disadvantage? Dang.
Yep. The other one was 30.
35 with disadvantage.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. If you fail, gain a point of stress.
What about a critical fail?
If you critically fail, gain 2 points of stress.
Ooh.
Yay.
20.
All right.
2 great rolls wasted.
Just a second. So
Also, have we discovered the Forvalaka?
Sure might be.
I'm pretty sure you told everybody that was just a rumor or something. The crab, you got 2 points of stress out of that. What's your stress standing at now?
That's the first stress I've taken so far. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, shaken, right? I don't think anybody's maxed out on stress yet, but it's horrifying. There's smoke. There's kind of this haze in the air. The shrieks are just the thing it's like something you're going to have to just live with for a while.
Mm.
Dugan, Sabina is, or no, I think Crab, you were, for whatever reason, stuck with Sabina earlier, so she's like grasping, clutching your arm, trembling, eyes wide, trying to retreat. What do you do?
I will attempt to calm down. Like, look, it sounds worse than it really is, you know.
The roar hits again. There's a single voice now shrieking with this sort of keening level to it. You know, it's the kind of scream where the human a human voice discovers new heights at which it can express horror, and she kind of whimpers. What do the rest of you do?
I'm going to ready my weapon. And does it seem like it's between us and where we're trying to get to?
You can't really tell. There's so much smoke now and haze. You can't really tell what's going on.
In that case, I'll tell everybody, bunch up, and keep your eyes on each other.
Did we get like any image of like what nature of thing it was, or just thing?
No, big.
I'm absolutely going to load my list.
Okay. I mean, that means everybody stop and just chill for a minute or two, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think we need to just get ready to maximize our
reload too. Yeah,
defense. Yeah.
Give me a group alertness test with advantage.
Well, I'll do it this time. Let's see. 21.
Okay. Take a point of stress as you're paying the closest attention when there's this momentary break in the smoke. You know, it's sort of it may be only 2 seconds that you see what's happening in there, but that's enough to give you this sort of bone deep, watery chill of imminent death. A burning roof kind of flares, and what you see, nobody else sees, is a huge pitch black panther with glowing green eyes. It has a victim pinned down to the ground, shrieking as it laps up his blood from his chest with one long claw extended. It kind of roots out his liver and eats it. You have magic, right?
I do.
You have magical senses.
I do.
This is, are you interested in your magical senses right now?
I'm more interested if can I use the magical senses to determine if it's if this is going to be looking hungrily at us, or if it's really focused on eating that dude.
This whole exchange is way more instinctive and intuitive than all that. So all I really want to know is, are you sort of letting your psychic senses kind of open up enough to sense something if it's there?
Yeah, I mean, if it's an unnatural panther, yeah, I guess I will make that power check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a 3.
Okay. So a couple of things. First of all, that also succeeded as a lore test. Even though you're not classically educated, you remember hearing from your, from your teachers in the little secret shanties and coves where they taught you secret rituals and secret truths, that the liver is in many sorceress traditions, spiritual traditions, the seat of spiritual existence. The heart is said to be the home of conscience and empathy. Its claws dig at the shrieking man's chest now. This thing is feeding on not just flesh, but the soul. gain another point of stress.
Cool.
And this thing is the most magically potent entity that you've ever encountered. You haven't been around the world. That may not be saying much, but it says what it says.
I use gestures to indicate we should leave. We should be very quiet and small and get out of here. And I will not like point out the panther because I especially don't want Princess to be like, oh, let me go mess with that giant magical death monster. I just got, let's just go. Let's just get out of here. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna be winning this fight.
The shrieks stop when it finally extricates his heart and eats it. Is anybody deliberately not cooperating with Crab here in his efforts to get you the hell away from this place?
No, I'm good.
No, I think we're all on Team Crab here.
Yeah, it's a close call, but given how magically intense this creature is, I think that
I mean, then again, you
Princess
don't know
knows his
that.
limits.
You haven't gone up there yet.
Okay, that's fair. I'll
The
listen.
vibe
then.
says magic.
A very worried Krabs is like pleading you with his eyes.
Yeah,
like,
you would probably recognize. You could probably tell a little more about just how about the not only the depth but something of the nature of Krabs's.
This one time, I need you to be cool. Please be cool.
All right, fine, let's go.
Yeah.
Maude is the screams. That is an NMP situation. That is not my problem. It's about to become an NMFP situation. Let's go.
Yeah, the screams stop. And
Okay.
as you get to the nearest alleys and away, it's silent. I mean, that crowd that was there is gone. How are you on stress now, Krabs?
I have one box that is unchecked.
Okay, you're doing good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maude realizes that she may not have mentioned it before and is like, I may have forgotten to mention this, but one of those weird scholars at the conservatory told me they saw a monster and there was nothing there, so I assumed he was just an asshole.
Well, that was definitely a monster.
He might have seen that.
I
don't know what it was, but
well, probably it wasn't that one because if he saw it, it probably would have killed him and eaten his liver.
That's good.
Yeah. So maybe there's more than one monster around, and that's the worst one. That's
went for
definitely
the sweetmeat.
Let's more walking, more creeping away, less talking.
Yeah. The power's stored in the liver, and the pee is stored in the balls.
That's just basic anatomy.
It's just science, man.
So if you feel the need to rid yourself of stress, you do have a couple of options. You can. This is on page 4 of the playtest rules, but rolling a critical success loses you a point. Other things are not, achieving an important goal. Yeah, but you can't exactly do that on the fly. But if you were to say cause trouble for everybody else by getting super drunk on duty, that'll let you uncheck a stress box. Or if you want to bond with another soldier or just complain and bitch at them, and that player is willing to take a point of stress, then you can lose a point of stress. Just give it to them. But they do have to agree to it. Unless the GM thinks it would be hilarious to say otherwise.
I mean, I would be happy to bitch and basically oversharing all the terrible things I've heard from the fish, my elders about all the horrible monsters that stalk this world, and that like trying to figure out which one it is. And then
okay. So as Krabs just starts really nervously going into all that, is anybody going to volunteer to pay enough attention to him that they get to eat one of his points of stress?
I'm already at 2 points.
I'm at none, so
Hey,
I will listen.
Want to hear some scary stories?
Yeah, you can
about
tell
monsters?
me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I don't know about that. That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah. So you spend the next like half hour or so just sort of nodding along with and getting more and more annoyed and spooked.
I'm like,
everyone else is tuning out.
You know why I don't mess around with magic? This is why. All of these things, each one of these things you've mentioned is a good reason for me to never mess around with magic, okay?
I just use it to help fish. That's all I do.
That's how it starts. And then soon enough, you got you're intermarrying with the fish and making fishmen, and that's how you get in trouble.
Hey, that's just a rumor. That doesn't, you can't prove that.
Yeah, sure.
But the evil liver eating panther monster, that's I mean, I think you'd eat your liver too, and you wouldn't even have, you even if you aren't a sorcerer.
You know what?
Yeah.
There's any number of things will eat your liver. Okay, it doesn't have to be some kind of magical thing.
Well, that one definitely was, and it was definitely eating that guy's liver.
Oh.
So yeah, okay. So Crabs, give one of your points of stress to Dugal.
Yay, down to 3.
Up to 1.
The moon is high overhead by the time you reach the wide marshal yards that surround the rubbish gate and the nearby Fork Barracks. The Fork Barracks are headquarters and garrison of the thousands of soldiers of the urban cohorts. Huge garrison complex. They are nowhere to be seen.
I'm just saying it says something very important that the rubbish is one place and the fork is another. What does that tell you about the food? I'd still eat it.
Just outside the rubbish gate sprawls the husks, just blocks and blocks of squalid shanties. Rioters, would-be rioters from the husks have gathered at the rubbish gate, screaming to be let in to join the pillaging. The gates are shut. Just inside the rubbish gate is the gatehouse, where chains pull the gates open or hold them shut. And just outside the gatehouse is a vicious fight. A gang of well-armed blues is attacking a barricade set up by a handful of soldiers of the Black Company.
I told you it was going to be a shit show.
Yeah, there are 5 men of 3rd Platoon's 4th Section still fighting. 3 more are down. The rest you don't see. Nobody's paying attention to you yet as you come, out of the alley, kind of see across this yard what's happening. In the distance, sort of out of the easy range of easy crossbow shot, other rioters have kind of gathered and are watching as a group. What are you going to do?
Well, if our brothers are in combat, then we better assist.
Yeah.
It might be our sisters.
Either way, I'm excited about using this arbalest.
So if you succeed at a group stealth test as you approach the fight, you could either attack these guys from the back from ambush, or go in screaming and banging shields and whatnot to potentially break their nerve and send them running out of confusion and worry.
I actually could do that. Hold on. What was
I could take on the risk for the stealth attempt.
Yeah, go for it. I'll just be sniping with a crossbow. Yeah,
same.
Yeah.
What's the careless attack?
Okay, so if you're hanging back with a ranged weapon, then let's say you don't do the stealth roll.
Shoot. I rolled the nicest number 2.
Well, I think me and Maude are going to be emailing.
Yeah.
So.
The 2 of you closing in? Yeah, sure. So one of you, whichever of you is worse at stealth is the roll by default. And
I am terrible at stealth.
They're both equally bad.
Oh, really?
We're not a stealthy bunch. We're both 30. No, are we? Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're both 30.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Well, I'll take it. I have lower stress, right? Or is stress at stake
I
here?
mean, no. I mean, if it's right, no, yeah. I mean, if you have exactly the same score, then you guys just choose which of you rolls. There's not a stress risk here.
Well, do you want it then, Maude?
Yeah. Do we want to just charge in, or do we want to sneak?
I don't feel like either you are sneaking. So why don't we go?
No.
For it?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna come up behind him and just crack somebody as hard as I can in the kidney.
Okay. So
I'm going for their spine. They're gonna lay on the ground and scream.
Yeah. All right. So let's do a group soldiering test instead. Then this can apply to everybody, whoever wants to roll it, or
I'll take
whoever's
it.
worst at it of the whole crew. Because if you suck and you blow the roll, then you give it away for everybody. You pull the trigger too quick, or anyway, the rules.
Yeah, I'll take it again if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
72. It's a good thing I did because nobody else would have made it with a 72.
Okay.
Success.
All right, you start approach. You start jogging in as you get near enough, and to join in, and you guys seize the initiative. Ross, you still got that D4?
Yeah.
All right, roll it. See who goes first.
That is a 3. That would be Maude.
Woo!
Well, I mean, are we doing ranged weapons first and then melee, or is it?
No, it's just it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right,
In this case, it doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes I might want to make things up like that, sort of.
Okay.
To keep track easier, but in this case, I'm not going to.
It's a 3. It's a Maude.
I'm going to do a careless offense.
Okay.
7 risk ones.
Just to make sure you know what's at stake here, you're going to be outnumbered unless they break instantly. Which there were 24 blues attacking. There are 16 left. Okay, so when their turn comes around, then you'll have to start making defense rolls. Right.
I think then I should have to just do a regular attack. I have a pretty good. I have 80 for melee, so I'm just gonna.
Okay. Now, the other wrinkle on this is you have a shield, which gives you advantage to defense rolls. So, being so good a fighter, if you want to take the chance, you could do the careless attack and just let your defense rolls use your standard 80% instead of the advantage that the shield gives you, because that would cancel out that disadvantage you get from the carelessness.
I'll play it ordinary this time, and then we'll see as it goes along. If I want to just really beat the ever-loving snot out of people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So coming in with club with one hand, shield in the other, screaming war cries. Oh my God. 76. Under 80.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you crack into somebody's arm. This is an even number.
76. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not a piercing weapon, which means they have enough armor that it reduces the damage by a step. So instead of hitting this guy with a wounded, you hit him with a staggered, right? So that's going to cost one of them his action this round. Ross at D3. Who's next?
D3 or D4? Oh, D3.
However you want to handle it.
Yeah. 1, 2. Next up is Dugal.
All right. I'm charging as well. I'm going to pull axe with these guys. I am just going to, let's see. So I don't have my, but I do have, what does this do? Resilient. Risk 1 stress test stamina. Yeah, I'm just going to full attack. I'm going to recklessly attack these guys.
All right. Let's see it.
Careless offense. Boy, I needed that. No, actually, it didn't help me. I rolled an 83, even with advantage.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
All right.
That's a failure.
Yeah, so as you're coming in, one of them, his spidey sense tingles and turns around with this big-ass pike that he's been trying to get over the barricade. And levels it at you as you come charging in. What was your roll again?
It was 83.
83. Okay, so 3 for the hit location is whatever it says on your sheet. On your
That is left arm.
Okay.
I have no armor protection.
Okay. This is let's call up the character sheets because I put most of the rules for it on that. And sort of follow along. Over in where it talks about the wounds, there's a note there that says if you roll, I think it says if you roll an odd number for your source of injury, drop it by a step. Is that
if you take damage due to an odd roll, reduce it by 1 damage step.
Okay, so this is a pike, does the same damage as a halberd or a poleaxe. So what is your usual damage with the pole?
It is usually maimed.
Hold on, hold on. Just give me just a second to look this up.
No problem.
Whether I recorded this right or
while you're doing that, I'm going to see if maybe my feet will help me, which it might be.
Feats can be useful that way. Okay. So pike baseline damage is dying. You got to roll, so that drops it to merely maimed.
Yay!
You have chainmail, which gives you.
I do not, because I did not put my chainmail on this morning because it was too hot.
Stabbed you in the heart instead.
The head. I would have been good if he hit me in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! Is he gonna die?
Okay, so no, he's just maimed for maybe life now. You said you were looking at feats. Do you have any?
So I have a feat resilient, which is not going to help me because it helps me against staggered stuff and potentially against wounded, but does not say it does anything against maimed.
This is a lot harder than that. Yeah, that long giant spear just like whips around just in time to kind of catch you at the end of it. You know, it's these long spears that kind of bend ever so slightly because they're so damn long and front heavy, and it bends even more when you slam into it. And now it's your turn for your eyes to kind of go wide in shock. On your character sheet, check where it says maimed for that hit location.
Yes. Can't use this arm.
Is fucked until you lose the maimed status, which usually takes days, and you lose, your next combat action.
Well, I'm fucked. Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's next, Ross?
Me. And I will shoot that guy that done stabbed my buddy.
Okay.
With a 20.
All right. That's success. That's a crossbow. The 0 is a 10, which is the head, which means your crossbow does dying damage to him, and it's piercing, so his armor does not help him. And you put a bolt right in his face, and he just sort of flops and hits the ground, kind of clawing at it and bleeding. Who's next?
I think Princess is the only one left.
Yeah. Are they grouped together?
Yes, they are actually pretty well grouped together.
Yeah, then I think I'd like to blend Affliction and Blast again, because that worked so well last time.
Please make them shit themselves. No, I'm sorry.
So
and just give them instant IBS.
Yeah. Okay. So just as an expert tip here. So your blast, these guys too are armored pretty well, which means your blast again is not going to really do much to them unless you amp it up particularly. So it may not be worth burning an augmentation.
Okay. So then can I afflict them? Does that bypass their armor? Then I would like to afflict them and at least a 1 yard radius.
Yeah. So last time, if I remember right, you were able to get a 1 yard radius on a baseline affliction.
Yep.
And that was combining it with the blast effect. So if you drop blast, but you keep that augmentation, right? You could use it to expand the radius further instead for affliction, which would make it a 2-yard radius. Okay.
I would like to do that. And actually, if I bump it up another for affliction, I can add staggered damage. And armor does not reduce it.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, again, that probably wouldn't be worth it in this case.
Okay.
Right? Staggered is pretty easy to get over.
All right.
And they're already going to be losing actions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then bumping up that radius as much as I can would be great.
Yeah. I mean, just count up however many augmentations and how do you build them up?
Yeah. So that is moving up to, is that the 5-yard radius? So that's 1, 2, 3 augmentations, I guess.
Okay.
Because that it goes 1 person to 1 yard to 1 yard plus damage to 5 yards plus damage. It increases the duration.
Yeah. Let me double check that. Make sure we get this right. Okay. So, yeah. What you're looking at on the spell description is not actually augmentations. Okay. That is, if you're an especially powerful wizard, you have a feat called magnitude, which
1
or 2. So that changes the baseline effects of the spell. Okay. So what you're looking at is you have no magnitude. So you start with the 1 person target, right? Under special affliction augmentations, it says you can change the target to a 1/2-yard radius, right? So that's 1.
Yeah.
And another augmentation would make it 1 yard. A third augmentation would make it 2 yards radius.
Okay. Which, I will do that then. That way I can maximize the number of targets hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So what steps do you take to build up those 3 augmentations?
Yeah. So there's baseline, but then I'm going to use my bag of teeth again.
Mm-hmm. That's for 1.
And then, and then risking stress.
Mm-hmm. That gains another.
Yep. And then is it 1 more augmentation to get up to 2 yards radius?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at the options, scrolling down. Sorry.
I don't suppose I can lend my efforts for free since I already shot a crossbow this round.
No. You used your action doing that.
Yeah. Figured I can't send thoughts and prayers your way.
Oh, shucks. Thoughts and prayers have always worked so well up to this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I have access to.
There's one option that I don't remember if we took it off, but we probably ought to still be on there, which is for exertion, instead of getting 1 augmentation by risking stress on the roll, you could gain 2 augmentations by simply taking
the stress. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay. You're going to get that stress whether the roll succeeds or fails, just to be super clear.
No, I understand.
Okay,
I already checked it off. Yeah, and I rolled a 36 under 70.
Okay, awesome. All right, so with a radius of 2 yards, they're pretty well gathered up, fighting all these pikemen. If you look on the spell scope table to see where I'm getting this on page 30.
Yes.
Radius of 2 yards, it usually is going to mean hitting 5 to up to 16 targets. So, in this case, why don't we say, I don't know, roll a d6 plus 4.
Sure.
How many of them you get?
Plus 4, so that's 7.
Yeah, I mean, like nearly half of them suddenly start screaming and itching and coming over in boils, gathered up together in tight pike formation the way they were.
Yep. Excellent. Yeah, and Princess's red lips just smile wide with malice.
All right. Okay. So that puts them at, after that is your NPC allies. Okay. Dugal, do you have dice handy by any chance?
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry, me? Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
do have dice handy.
okay, do you have enough for 7 10-sided dice?
Oh, question.
I do.
Yes, I do.
All right. First come, first serve. Roll them.
Okay. Do you need each individual number?
Each individual die. Yeah. Well, here's what I'm wanting to count. I want to count of how many of them are 5 or lower, and how many of them are 6 or higher.
You said 8, right?
7. This is
7,
one
sorry.
for each of your NPC buddies. Your
Got
2
you.
squad mates and the 5 that are there.
And do zeros count as 10? That's high?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's walk through the low rolls first. Let's just start at
Okay.
the lowest, and we'll go with that. How about that? That'll be
Okay, so I have 2 1s.
okay. So that means the enemy that NPC is fighting takes damage, and it's a 1, which makes it a critical damage, which is definitely going to be 2 guys down. All right. What else do you have that's 5 or lower?
Nothing. That is all the 5s or lowers that I have.
Okay. Do you have any 10s?
I do have 1 10.
Okay. Let's do another roll. This is going to be
All right.
a D7, but roll
Sure,
a D8.
I'll roll.
If it's a 1 or a 2, it's either bony or gull.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Okay. So your 110 means one of your brethren that you're helping goes down, and that leaves how many others that are 6 or higher?
That leaves a total of 4 more that were 6 or higher.
Okay. And so each of those is one of your allies that takes damage in the fighting. They're getting hit by pikes and crossbows, right? Which is, but they have armor, right? So a pike hit, instead of being a dying result, is going to be wounded.
Must be nice.
Yeah. So that was 4 wounded?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm just going to dictate that one of those is bony.
Oh, Boney, no.
In the fighting. Okay. That's your allies. And then that accounts for, let's see. You guys each attacked, hand-to-hand attacked 1, so that's 2. Your 5, your 7 confreres each attacked 1, that's 9. That leaves 7 of the enemy that can still attack people, potentially you. However, they've lost a lot of people, including to sorcery. So let's say, Princess, give me a luck roll.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? You don't even need to. I'm sorry. I already had this written down. They had already taken losses, which means they were a little battered. If they lost another 4 or 2 or more just to sorcery, the rest retreat. So yeah, I mean, it's a really hard fucking scramble of a fight. Very brief, hard scramble of a fight. And then they break and they back off, like half of them kind of staggering slowly in magical agony. And the door to the gatehouse opens, and one of the other soldiers leans out and says, get in here, let's figure this out before they come back. And you have a moment to kind of gather up the wounded and get into the gatehouse.
That's me. That's
Yay. Come on.
I take back all the mean things I just said to Krabs about magic.
The last scene winds up being a battle for the gates. Blues that you chased off kind of gather their nerve and have a couple of leaders, and they gather up some of the angriest of the rioters, and make a hard press, a couple of hundred of them, trying to get to the gate and open it and force it open. And the people of third platoon and first platoon have to man the barricades, or shoot out loopholes with crossbows to try to fend them off. There's a part of the combat system that's built for really big picture engagements like that. So it plays it out way quicker than a round-to-round fight. So rather than playing that out, though, what I'm going to do is give everybody an individual soldiering test. And if it fails, then you get fucked up.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a 91 probably fails.
Do I have problems with my skill checks based on being maimed? No, I guess not.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you, I think everything's at disadvantage.
I got
So,
7, under 70.
so I'm sorry. Dugal would probably sit this out, as badly hurt as he is.
I try not to, but I probably ought to.
So what if I critically fail
Yeah.
with a 66 over 40?
Okay. So here's one thing we do want to walk through is when there's a moment in the fighting where Princess takes a crossbow bolt to the arm and goes down and is dying. Crabs, you're probably the one nearest that can try to help them. When somebody's at the dying condition, it's kind of D&D style. At the end of every round, they have to make a luck roll. If they succeed 3 times, dying changes to maimed. If they fail 3 times, they die. Somebody else can get first aid kit and try to do first aid with a medicine test to intervene and save them.
All right. I guess I'm the closest. I have medicine at 50. So.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, mine's at
Let
30.
me get that first luck roll out of the way for Princess, though.
40. Yeah. I just rolled 40.
Was that for the luck roll for Princess?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's one good one. Okay. Now for medicine, right? Under medical treatment on page 8, first aid, bandages and splints and tourniquets and whatnot. You have a first aid kit, so you can attempt a medicine test.
Yeah. 26.
If it succeeds, and you succeeded?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You save Princess's life. No further luck rolls required. And, it's probably during that process, because Krabs, you failed your soldiering roll, if I remember right. That you take a crossbow bolt to the leg, which leaves you wounded. And did anybody else blow it?
Nope.
I'm going to try it. Even though, I feel like if it went badly for some of my if everybody else had succeeded, then I probably would have set it out. But I would feel then obligated as Dugal to step up.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, with rolling twice.
Oh.
For disadvantage.
Oh yeah, 43. That's all still fine.
Okay, still a success. Good job. Yeah. All right. Well, that's some hero shit right there.
With that pike tip sticking out of my armpit.
Yeah. After all that, eventually, the crowds break for a final time, leaving a lot of bodies behind, and even more eventually. You do lots of first aid and lots of haphazard stitching, and then late the next day, after a rainstorm comes through, calms down everything, late the next day, the rest of 3rd Platoon shows up, 70 or 80 soldiers, and to relieve the force that's here and escort everybody home.
Hey, merry assholes. Late.
Yeah, I mean, the platoon sergeant, Mercy, kind of looks you over and looks Princess over and says, well, why'd they stab the wrong one of you then? And
good luck. Is my good luck. I'm not dead.
Yeah, but they escort you home. Okay, who wants to make the luck roll?
Well, also, what happened to the kid?
Yeah, she comes out of it freaked out, but unharmed. You stashed her in the gatehouse, at the top level, the final room, and basically kept her under lock and key until reinforcements came. So yeah, I need a luck roll.
I'll do it.
Here. Yeah.
I got it. I rolled a 5.
Oh, get it. Get it.
What'd you roll?
0-5.
0-5. Okay. That is a success. Not a critical success, but a success, which means the syndic burns up on the captain and the lieutenant, the worst of his incandescent, indignant fury at you guys fucking up so badly as to put his daughter at that kind of risk. Never mind it, you didn't do it.
They call him the Sin Dick for a reason.
They do. They definitely do. What comes later, what comes next, they, as you're recuperating, breeze starts to come off the sea. Rumors spread that a launch has set off from that huge black ship coming to the city, and what it's bringing with it is anyone's guess. And let's leave it there.
Done.
Swell.
Nice. Yay. We survived.
Only just.
Yeah. You did pretty well. Yeah, Juicy, that was really fun. You're working with the magic system and kind of improvising with all of that. That was cool to see.
No, thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I want to explore it more. I want to see what else I can do to cause mayhem and chaos.
Right.
I am just too damn dumb to ever do a magic system first time through on a game. I know who and what I am. I can never, I've hard enough time keeping track of what I already got. Which is
Yeah, I do like, even though my guy spelled one spell to not help, but like that all magic users had some abilities, like the sensing and assisting other sorcerers is pretty neat. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Good.
And the combat definitely is fast and deadly. I like that.
Yeah, I like the combat a lot.
Yeah.
If we didn't have a sorcerer, I'm not sure how it would have gone.
Yeah, putting in that affliction spell was potent. Maybe too potent. I'm going to review that.
Yeah.
No.
As a playtest scenario, I do wonder about the whole not being able to the heavy armor, because I feel that was kind of like I was kind of counting on that a little bit for my character's ability. Like his kind of strategy was just wade in and like tank stuff, which I couldn't do because of the situation nearly as well as I would have been otherwise. So I didn't really get to see whether armor was good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, that may have been miscommunication on my part. The idea was supposed to be that, that your what's his name was recommending that you pack light, but it was up to you.
Yeah, it just seems like really brutal wearing chainmail when you have the thing encumbered. Seems pretty tough.
Yeah, it is pretty tough. I mean, if you were wearing full chainmail, then any whatever like stamina tests that you had to make one or two. I think that those
definitely. Well, that and agility, stamina, and stealth. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's very, very handy, but it kind of limits you in some ways.
Yeah, that's for sure. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like the character creation a ton. I love the fact that there's like a bunch of stuff to define your character's personality rather than just their like capabilities.
And because, it all kind of contributes to the mechanics.
Yeah.
So it feels like it has weight and meaning. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The character creation, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, love me a good random character generation system.
Random tables are amazing.
Yeah,
even though I picked a lot of my stuff, I still rolled randomly for like.
Yeah, I deliberately built it so you can either build everything completely to scratch, or you can just roll dice until you're done.
Yeah, I love it.
And there's conveniently, if you're picking bonus skills, there's exactly 20 skills. So if you wanted to randomize that, you can too.
Nice.
So
cool.
All right. Thank you for playing, guys. That was a blast for me. It sounds like everybody had a good time. So
It's fun. I can't wait to see more from the Black Company. So
awesome. Yeah, as a person who's like not at all invested in like the system, it works just purely as a game. Like it's just like I don't feel like I had trouble. There was basically no point at which I'm like I would only enjoy this if I were a fan.
Oh, gotcha. Good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for running this, Shane. And thank you all for listening to this. And we'll have links to Ethan's and Juicy's podcasts and shows, and of course to Arc Dream in the show notes. So be sure to check all those out. And,
Kara, do you still not have any links you want to brag about?
Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing now, but I have been long since permanently banned from Twitter because threatened to boil one person's face alive and suddenly you're worse than Alex Jones or something. I don't know.
Mazel tov.
So unfortunately I don't have any anything that I want to share at the moment, as everything I was involved in has either come to a pause or I've been permanently banned. Not mad at all.
You know, there's Blue Sky, and I don't think you've been banned there yet.
Not yet, but also the crippling addiction.
Okay.
Probably bad. But I'm going to do it anyway. You're the one that pushed me. So when my life falls apart, I will blame you.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Glad I'm helping.
Bye. All right. Stop my local recording, and let's see if I can stop it on here. I need to manage it, so I need to message Caleb.
Yes.
Stop there. All right.
Why in the name of God does Blue Sky set your